They're not ready, Lily. They're not ready, Lily.
They better get ready.
Woo! Let me tell you, Lily, let me tell you, when I have the most beautiful, talented panel and chat in all of YouTube land, listen, no cap, I get overwhelmed at our freaking family.
No, we have adult family.
We got
Okay.
adult family, no cap. We got musicians, actors, singers, models, writers. Like, you cannot beat On the Block with Jen. We're really the most talented block on YouTube. And for those who are wondering, that was our very own Haran DeMarco. That was him. That was him. That music you heard, that was Haran DeMarco. That was him. Okay. So I'm like, yo, I don't need nobody's music. I got the family's music. We have
That's
POP.
right.
We got Haran DeMarco. Like, listen, we some bad motherfuckers on the block.
We
some
really
bad
are.
motherfuckers on the block, if I do say so myself. And I said to all my people, my friends and family that I love, I said 2023 isn't the year for being humble. This is the year when we're going to be in your face with our talents, with our love, with our hearts, with our looks, everything that we are. I advise y'all do the same thing. 2023, okay? Humble is for dead people. You are here. You only live once. You better say that shit with your chest. Don't dim your light to make other people feel better, okay? If you make other people insecure, that's their problem, not yours, okay? Say it with your damn chest. 2023, I said, was not going to be the year of being humble. Fuck all that. This is who we are. This is what we do. Musicians, actors, models, we up here. We're creating content, okay? We're bringing you great interviews. We're bringing you great insight. You're not going to get that anywhere else, so welcome. Because we can't do without you, our audience. Welcome, chat. Chat, hold me down really quickly. Okay, I want to get into tonight's topic and some gossip that's going on. Hello, Haran DeMarco.
Yo,
We were talking about you behind your back.
it happens.
And I just want to say, we're just getting started. We ain't really started showing out yet.
Okay,
Hello.
okay.
Hello. Okay.
I love the energy, man. I heard a minute ago you basically said fuck being humble.
Yeah.
I humbly agree.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's what
Unhumbly
we're doing.
agree.
Yeah, because listen, all our lives, I think it's a mistake. I hate when people say it. I especially hate it when people say it to young people. I relate so much to King Richard, Serena and Venus's father, when I believe it was Venus having that interview, and the interviewer kept trying to like humble her and say, well, what if you lose? What if you lose? And her father went off. Like, stop humbling your kids. Stop it. Stop it. It comes from religious fucking babble. That's really where it stems from. It comes from a place where people who were the haves, the people that were getting money, wanted to make you believe money wasn't everything. Like Dre said, niggas without money act like money ain't everything. It fucking is. It's a sign of success. It's what we need to survive and live and help other people. Right. Can't help a motherfucking thing or yourself if you don't have money. So, if you have any talent, I don't care what the skill is. I don't care if you can make the best BLT. You better do that shit with your chest, okay? 2023 is not the year for being humble. Fuck all that.
There's a difference between being humble and humility, okay?
Yes.
So humility is great because that just means you know who the fuck you are, all right? Mm-hmm. That means you that's just an accurate, assessment of self. But humble, that's a whole different thing. I think people get those two things mixed up.
Yeah, I'm not into that. If I need to be humble to make you feel comfortable, then you need to exit my atmosphere, because I'm not doing it. And we hear that from when we're little kids, and people who are great are scoffed at. Aren't they scoffed at? People who are great are scoffed at. Yep. How dare you be so great? How dare you be so beautiful? How dare you? You know what I mean? And it's a great segue to tonight's topic, because we're talking about people that are average at best. Okay, but in a different context. But before we get into that, Haran, I was letting the people know that was your music. That shit was a whole bop, okay? We were back here like, I was waiting on Lily because I saw Lily put her earrings on, so I didn't want to throw her up on the panel.
Right, you saw me change like 5 times. This is the day. This is my life. I changed like 5 times on the way out the door.
I was like, I
Oh my
see Lily. I
goodness.
said, okay, I got time to vibe then. Lily still putting her earrings on. I was like, I got time to jam up here. But that
Thank
is your
you.
music, and I want people to know, and I want people to also follow you. And let me just drop our banner real quick so people can see all our names. Welcome, 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 everyone. This is another episode of On the Block with Jen. I'm your favorite devil's advocate, if I do say so myself. Jen, you can reach me on all social media platforms, On the Block with Jen, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, what have you. On the Block with Jen at Gmail, if you want to do business with any one of us or me, whether it's a collaboration, an interview, some business, throw it in there, On the Block with Jen. I also appreciate people throwing topics in there for us that we can only dissect the way we dissect shit. On the Block with Jen at Gmail, because we're very busy and sometimes we miss topics and they're probably juicy and you catch them and we don't. Throw it On the Block with Jen at Gmail. Anybody could join us on the panel. We ready for the smoke. We bring the smoke and we ready for the smoke. All we ask is that you do not hide behind an avatar. If you have to hide your identity, the block ain't for you, okay? But aside from that, by all means, come up, rebut, contradict, argue. We like all that shit. We like passion. We're not afraid of people yelling up here. Just make it make sense.
Yeah,
Right, pretty
that's
much.
it.
Just make it
That's
make
it.
Pretty much.
sense,
Pretty
okay?
much.
We
We
all
don't ask
get
for much.
passionate. Yeah, we all get passionate. We all yell. I don't give a damn.
Absolutely.
I'm a Puerto Rican one from the Bronx. My octaves are always up here. Just make it make sense. Just make it make
Right.
sense. Okay? Hope you guys are having a great day. Let's get into this. You guys are probably going to have a lot of rebuttals for this. Before we go another further, I would like my co-host to introduce themselves.
Well, I am Lily of YB Limited. That is the letter Y, the letter B, the word limited, the way it's spelled right, her. All right. And you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and here on YouTube as well. And if you're looking for all of us, you can find us on Saturday nights, every Saturday night at 8 p.m. for Block Talent Battle. And if this is your first time watching the show, I have no problem with explaining what Block Talent Battle is. That is a talent show for everyone to come out and perform, and you're going to compete for a $100 cash prize. Now, I don't care if you just got started today, if you haven't got started, or if you're Rihanna. Come on out and compete for your $100 cash prize, Rihanna. All right, we got it for you. And you could be a poet, a singer, a rapper, a dancer, whoever you have card tricks or whatever. Come on out and support. We want to see more actors, some monologues and things like that. So yes, come out. The audience will be voting for you. So invite your supporters to come out and vote for you as well. Jen and I will be judging, so do not butter up to us. But you can send a super chat. It still ain't gonna work. But we're gonna love you.
Absolutely. And I am Heron DeMarco. I represent the love-hate relationship that you have with your baby daddy, your toxic ex, and your father. You can check me out on Instagram at Dangerous DeMarco. You can also swing by all of your favorite streaming services. Type in Heron DeMarco, whatever pops up. Take a listen. If you hate it, don't forget to actually email me and tell me how much I suck or how much you do love it. Do love it, do dig it, but always reach out. Let me know how you're feeling out there.
Yeah, that was a whole bop just now. That music was banging.
Thanks.
All right, so let's get into a little bit of the gossip before we get into the meat and taters, okay? Let's have a little calamari. Let's have a little appetizer. So I did see clips. Now clips are everywhere of Beyonce's concert, okay? If you want to call it a concert. She's sitting, it's very geriatric, okay? She's sitting a lot throughout the concert. I'm not gonna lie, while I was scrolling, I thought it was Jennifer Lopez because I'm sorry, Beyonce is giving Latina.
Trans Latina?
Listen, Beyonce is giving trans Latina. She's giving Latine, Latinx, Latine. Okay, she's giving Latin realness. All right, I'm sorry, y'all could get offended, but when I look at her, that is what I initially think. I thought it was Jennifer Lopez when I was scrolling. I mean, with that said, a lot of these women wear the same exact wigs and the same exact leotards, so it's easy to mix them up. Like if you covered Jennifer Lopez's face and Beyonce's face and you just put them on stage, you'd have to be like, which one is which? It's the same thing like with the BBL bitches. If they all turned around, if Nicki Minaj and Cardi B and all them other Sweetie and all them bitches turned around, we couldn't tell who was who, and you know it. We could not tell this fake ass from that fake ass. They all look the same, right? Yeah, so I was watching a couple of the clips. I was a little surprised. She's sitting a lot throughout the concert. However, there are rumors that she had foot surgery. There are other rumors that she had another type of surgery. She has to sit. I don't know why she chose to, go out on tour if she couldn't really maneuver. But then Haram brought to my attention, it's supposed to bring in what, $2 billion, that concert? So that's why she's out there in a chair, hair dancing. Now she's throwing her hair around a lot. So if you want to see her wig flying to and fro from one end of the stage to the other as she sits down, then that concert is for you, honey. Because that wig is like, she doing the white girl dance. You know how white girls dance with their hair? Be like, yeah. So she's giving us that, all the while looking Latinx up there and all her blonde, yummy goodness. Maybe it was timing. Maybe her foot got fucked up and the dates were already set, I'm guessing. And that's why she was like, fuck it, let's just do it in a chair. Although I'm Beyonce, I could do it in a chair. But there was some fans complaining about it. I'm not a fan. I don't have a dog in the fight. But apparently her fans were like, we paid $1,000 to $3,000 for these tickets. I need you dancing the fucking jig up there for my money. Now, really quickly before I pass the mic, just so you know, it's not just Beyonce. 2023 has been labeled the year of the $1,000 ticket. So we're talking about Jennifer Lopez, Bruno Mars, Beyonce, and acts like that. They're all charging in the realm of $1,000 to $3,000, depending how close you want to get. So this is the year of the $1,000 ticket. Now, when they asked the powers that be, why so pricey? Why are you charging $1,000? Their response was literally because the fans will pay it. Just that simple. I don't know how else someone can tell you to your face, we're going to fuck you in the ass because you like it. Okay. They literally said this is the year, the $1,000 ticket, because fans will pay it. Someone asked, well, why are they paying it? Well, because they missed their pop artists during the pandemic. Yeah, okay. They're doing it because people will pay it. And it just goes to show how people are cattle and you can lead them every which way. And it's sad because the people have the power. Okay. Right. The people have the power to say, fuck $3,000. I don't care who's up there. You're going to have to bring Jesus Christ back for me to pay $3,000. But fans are going to fan and they pay the ticket. So like everything else, how high are those tickets going to get? Are we going to see $5,000 tickets in the future? I will pass the mic.
You want to go, Lee?
Well, to add on what you said, first, I have a lot of thoughts about this. Yeah, I do see $5,000 tickets in the future because, well, hold on, let me say this. No, yes and no. The way this economy set up, that'll be the only thing that will stop them. That will be the only thing that will stop them. If it's not for the economy, then yes, it will be, because you teach people how to treat you, right? So if I show you that I can get away, if you let me know that I can get away with it, I'm gonna push the envelope even more. I always say it on the show. Once you give people power, they're not giving it back. So she's not going to lower those tickets. That's number one. Number two, I've also said a few times, and people look at me like I'm crazy when I say this, but you know how I feel about billionaires, right? Like, you just cannot become a billionaire and be a good person. Like, it's just, it is what it is. Not you. Can you? I mean, because the only way to really become one is to step on motherfuckers, is to slave labor and all that kind of other stuff, right? So, and I haven't seen the story of a billionaire yet that doesn't include those things and many, many, many more. So,
Ooh.
so I've always looked at J and B as the type of people, as billionaires that will not leave a dime on the table. They will not leave a dime on the table. And every time they prove me right. Like, they keep doing things that show you we're not going to leave. I don't care if we're trillionaires. We need that other 25 cents.
So you think there was a conversation and they were like, get out there with your broken ankle, Adam, eat the cake. You think that happened? Wow, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I had to think. I'll let her on, because I I just gotta be able to say if I can say this. So like, but yeah, because you not be
You don't
knowing
know
some
who's
stuff,
watching.
so I'm like, yeah, I gotta
You don't know
watch
who's
it.
watching. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes, we are still in the industry. What's up, chat? I see you, Tyrone, Louis Conier, Gary Richards, Mr. Justin. How are you, my guys? Oh, my Vegatron. Hold me down, chat. Haran, what say you? $1,000 ticket?
Um, I can see why. I'm not saying it's right, but I can see why.
Okay.
Y'all know it's the music industry, and everything right now, everything outside of shows, like
Mm-hmm.
ain't really popping. Ain't making no fucking money. Streaming, ain't nobody making money off of streaming. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like that. There's a whole bunch of other things that go into, the building of you know what it is. There's so much that goes into the investing of
Mm-hmm.
these artists and these albums and blah blah blah, whatever would have you, and these rollouts. I guess they just figure like fuck it. We not only gonna make a profit, we gonna fit them with the bill because it's not like we making money with all this other shit. Ain't nobody buying this, ain't nobody buying that, blah blah blah. So we gonna tack all the fucking, what I mean, expenses onto this shit. We gonna bleed them dry here because we know they're gonna show up for this shit. And it's not only the ticket, but let's keep it 100. You gonna buy the ticket. Next thing you know, you gonna go down to the merch shop. They gonna make sure you go to the merch shop. You know what I mean? Even if they gotta drag you, you gonna go to the motherfucking merch shop. You gonna get the Beyonce mug, the Beyonce BBL edition, the Beyonce. You know what I mean? They gonna milk you, baby. You know what I mean? They gonna throw you in the parking lot, and you ain't gonna know what the fuck after they done with you. So yeah, I can see it, man. Because y'all know, man, it's the music industry, man. Motherfuckers don't give a fuck.
At all, at all.
They
I mean,
coming for
at
every
this
penny, baby.
they come for every penny. And what but the thing is, to your point, Haran, not only do they come for every penny, but they've gotten to the point now where not only do they come for every penny, but they play in your face while they're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're used to give you the pyrotechnics and the dancing and the
Mm-hmm.
having a baby on stage and all that good stuff, right? But now they'll just pick somebody out from across the street, the girl across the street, and like I said, I think it was in our group chat. I was like, Ice Spice gives me a TikTok user.
It pretty much
TikTok
is.
user number 49035. Like that's what she gives me.
And like I said, I think I was telling Jenny, I said, these white folks put that little girl on the express train.
Yeah.
They said,
Mm-hmm.
fuck it, we found her. They just threw her
She
on
look
the they just threw her on the goddamn express train, and she doing a record with Taylor Swift. She about to do some voice
Katy
shit. She
Perry with
Katy
Katy
Perry.
Perry.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, man, she gonna
Express.
be out of here.
They did put her on the
She
express
gonna be
train.
worth $20 million when it's all said and done. I
Oh,
guarantee
easy,
you.
easy. She looks like she has Down syndrome. Shout out to all my
Hmm.
people with Down syndrome. They
She
even
does the
out here doing
eyes.
their thing. Yeah, it's
You
yeah.
know,
She has
nah,
them funky eyes. Um, yeah. So okay, $1,000 tickets won't get me. Listen, I don't even care if it's Babyface. And y'all know how it feels about me some Babyface. I couldn't do it. I couldn't bring
Look,
myself to do it.
look, listen, man. I think me and Jay we was watching this shit. I was like, she got y'all paying $5,000. She on a whole motherfucking lawn chair, rocking
Right.
back and forth. You know what I mean?
Right. Like
She
she
was
was
she was rocking back and forth though, but the
Rocking back
hair
and
was
forth
going. The
on a
hair
lawn
was going. The hair was
because
going.
because
chair.
she was doing the like what she's been doing. She's been giving the Mariah Carey treatment, where she sits or stands there, and she has people flipping over her, and lions and tigers, and people falling out, and stabbing themselves in the like she all this abracadabra.
But listen, Lily, I will say that the clips that I was watching, the background is so elaborate and grandiose and glitter and pyrotechnics and that I wasn't even looking at Beyonce
It
because she
was.
has like a big horse on the stage and I'm just like look like
The
I'm
shit look like
looking
a
at
Marvel movie after a while. This shit look like a
yes.
Marvel movie.
Yes, and then
God
there's like
damn.
this, and then there's this little blonde thing wiggling at the bottom, but my peripheral's not even accepting it. I'm like, oh shit, look at the big fucking glitter horse. I was looking at the clips. No lie. I'm like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot going on that stage. So I see where the money is going.
Yes.
It's a lot. But Haran, you make sense. It's like people aren't buying records or albums, whatever people are calling them nowadays, like they used to. So they're like,
Yeah.
let's get them on these ticket sales. And they getting them and they getting them good.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the record labels, when they sign you down, they make sure they get some of that concert money. Because back in the day, they wasn't getting concert money like that unless they really was trying to fuck you over. They wasn't getting
Mm-hmm.
it like that,
Mm-hmm.
But now they make sure that they put that one in the contract unless you have somebody to fight for you to get that taken out.
Right.
Look,
Yeah,
listen.
the show, the technical part of the show, woo, she don't even need to be there, honestly.
Right. But it
Look,
worked.
ladies and gentlemen, the two ladies here will agree to this. When it comes to show business, this shit is like inviting a vampire into your home. Okay? Once you invite a vampire into your home, you are powerless and it will suck you fucking dry of
Mhm.
everything. So if you allow motherfuckers to actually destroy you, man, shit.
Speaking of money, Bezos proves there's no wall for Lauren Sanchez. You heard it here, folks.
Ooh.
Jeff Bezos proves there's no wall, a la the manosphere, for Lauren Sanchez, 53-year-old divorcee with 3 kids, engaged to one of the richest men in America. They are hanging out right now at the Cannes Film Festival on his $500 million yacht. You heard that correctly. They are hanging out right now after their engagement to celebrate the Cannes Film Festival on his $500 million yacht with a 53-year-old woman with 3 kids.
How much was the yacht? How much
$500 million.
I want y'all to think about that for a second. I want y'all to think about for a second. That motherfucker probably paid for that yacht with his tax return.
Right.
I don't even think he even, files his taxes. But let's just say, for shits and giggles, that motherfucker could have paid for that shit with a tax return. He's like, oh shit, I got to get tax return. He said, what am I gonna do? Let me get a yacht. Yeah, let me just go get a yacht. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, that's a different kind of money.
Yeah.
That's a different kind of money, man. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I remember watching like an old Marvel movie. It was Tony Stark. He was talking to Ghostface, and Ghostface was in a Marvel movie. And Ghostface brought back, I think it was a Porsche or a Jag to Tony. He was like, "Yo, man, you know what I mean? I forgot to bring back a Jag." And Tony was like, "Oh, I didn't even notice it was gone. Oh, you could just bring it back again wherever you feel like it." That's a different kind of money, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When the motherfucker is working with that kind of shit. So whatever jokes you have for someone like that, it really is a moot point. Because at the end of the day, that motherfucker's winning exponentially.
And guess what? You know who he is. He don't know who you are.
And that's
Just
who?
saying. So keep your jokes.
Who?
Keep
And
your hit the wall.
but
You go on Amazon and buy tissues to dry your fucking eyes.
So check this out. Another day, right? We say another day, another grift, but another day, and everything is just chopping down everything that the fucking manosphere and the pills put out there. At the end of the day, all them guys are going back. It's like the pumpkin and Cinderella. You're all going back to the little bitter ogres that you were. Your fucking leaders are leaving you. Andrew Tate fucking broke down how he's not a simp and you're just not on his level. Like, everybody's leaving. Kevin left because, he didn't have a choice. The Grim Reaper was like, hey, how you doing? But all these guys are grifting, and you're going to have to go back under your little rock, right? Because every day it is proven that your theories are null and void. Again, Lauren Sanchez is 53 fucking years old. According to y'all, she hit the wall. She got not 1, not 2, but 3 fucking kids. A divorcee, one of the richest men in America, said, I want that. And check this out. Do you know what's on the prow of this $500 million yacht at the front? Okay. In case you guys don't know, that's the statue that's always at the front of a ship. He has a giant size mermaid in the image of Miss Lauren Sanchez. So
Hit
she
the
must
wall.
have hit the wall, right? Lauren hit the wall, Sanchez. He has a whole mermaid Okay, made in her image at the front of that yacht. So congratulations to Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. Fuck away, baby.
That
Fuck
that
Right.
away.
that
Now,
that
what all I need to know from from this point on is if
Bon
he's looking for
voyage.
a mistress. Okay.
Ah.
Are you taking the application? Are you taking applications?
look, listen, look,
Is there a
listen,
waiting list?
look, listen. That
They
Gawk
out of
Gawk
here, man.
3000, that Gawk 3000 must be immaculate. You must hear harps when your penis is in that woman's mouth.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So shout out to Miss Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos. Congratulations, bon voyage, baby, bon
She's an
voyage.
intelligent, but you see, she's an intelligent woman. From my understanding, I think she owns her own business. She's been somewhat of an advisor, if I'm understanding, to a number of his situations. So
Hmm.
guess what? She is an I don't know what asset. She isn't just nice looking. You mean rich men
Haran,
actually
right?
marry women who are assets?
I was saying Haran. Jeff Bezos don't need no assets. He needs ass. He doesn't
I
need. Jeff
mean, the other
Bezos does
part of it,
not need an asset.
the other part of it, I wouldn't just take on a bill. I wouldn't marry just a bill. You know what I mean? You
If
have to
you
be
were Jeff
something.
Bezos, you would.
Actually, I can't really speak on that right now. That's a
Okay,
different kind of
fair
money. That's a
enough.
different kind of money.
Fair
That's a different
enough.
kind of money. I've
Listen,
had I've had a certain kind of money in my life, and I still stood on my square. So a billion something, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
I
listen.
maybe he's
don't
still sitting
know.
on his square though. Maybe that is what his square is. And he is kind of square. I mean, so I'm just saying.
But wait a minute, this is a great segue because he is the quote unquote dorky, I guess, average at best male who won at life. Correct?
Right, right.
So
$137 billion.
yes, he
He's doing all
he,
right for himself.
Right? It's
he's doing
okay.
pretty cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's an example of yeah he got chose by the prom queen to some extent. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So I guess we can sit here and ask the question again: is the average at best or the nice guy or whatever the better choice?
Except that we can't put him in that category because once you're a billionaire,
You're not in the category no
you're
more.
not, yeah, you're not in that category. You're not average at best. Tap
I
record
mean, he had
says,
the focus. He had the focus to become that.
Okay, so you're
yeah,
talking about prior to. So we're gonna
Yeah, I'm talking
do
about prior too.
prior, but the before.
Yeah, I'm talking
yeah.
about prior too. I'm talking about the before,
Okay.
the potential
Okay.
for that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
All
So Tap records, the so-called wall is not real life. I see middle-aged women getting married to high-value men every day. Yeah, that's real life. That's real. That's why I always say there's life in the manosphere and in the pill sections and on YouTube, and then there's real life that we all live outside of that, and we know what our options are. We know what our network is. We know people we date and who they are and what have you. But they're two different worlds. It's like the imaginary shit that goes on YouTube that people wish was your life, and then there's your real life, right?
right.
And those are two very different separate things. And when you have options, girls and boys, you're a lot more relaxed about life when you have
Yes.
options, right? Now
True.
you let the manosphere tell it, yeah, y'all fuck all the bad boys, and then you want to settle down. I have the option to fuck the bad boy till I'm dead. Okay, I have the options to choose the bad boy till I'm fucking dead. I'm in no rush. I'm chilling. Jen is good, right? But they can't relate to this because they're on a clock, or the women in their pool are on a clock, or desperate to have children, or desperate to get married. So you're talking about a whole different entity. And listen, I'm not knocking the women that see their whole life's goal as being a mother and a wife and serving a man until they put her in a box underground. That's your thing. That's your thing. I'm just saying that her and I would have two different mindsets. So you have to be careful when you talk about women as a monolith because we are not.
Oh,
Right?
wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
That's
Crazy,
what
I
they
know.
that's the issue. Yeah, they try to make us a monolith. And
Yeah.
it's funny this hit the wall thing because I told you all the other day I was like, Yeah, a man just bought my grandma a whole house, and she's what, 85, 86? Just saying.
But that's real life. But that's real life. That's what
Oh,
happens in real life.
and remodeled the whole thing from top to bottom to her liking.
There you go. But there you go. Thank you so much for the super chat, Louis Conyers, supporting On the Block with Jen. If you want to support On the Block with Jen via Cash App and be discreet, it is scrolling on the bottom, On the Block with Jen. If you don't want to be discreet, you want to Cash App me and say, Jen, let them know I'm sponsoring this shit, then send me a note as well. But I know Cash App people want to, you know what I mean, mind their business, and they don't want people in their business. But if you want people to know, send me a note. I will let them know. So yeah, really salute to them. I can't even fathom. I can't even fathom that amount of money. It's insane when you think about it. It's fucking insane. $500 million, just the yacht. Just the yacht.
Mm.
Okay. So they are engaged. I know, listen, as accomplished as that woman may be, I don't give a fuck. After that ring went on her finger, she probably went in the bathroom and was like, oh.
I did it.
I mean, look, listen. Nature always wins. Nature is undefeated,
Right.
baby.
Yep.
Nature is
And it's funny
undefeated.
because they always say the wall is undefeated. No, 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 no. Nature is undefeated. A man will always
Exactly.
be a man. Okay?
Exactly. Exactly. Like I hear a couple of, I'm seeing a number of, critiques about Sanchez's appearance, and it's your business if you want to critique the way she looks or whatever. But there's internet opinions, and then there's real life opinions, and in the real world, you motherfuckers ain't fucking with chicks that look like Lauren Sanchez.
They can't even get close
Okay,
enough for her to hear their opinion, for her to hear their
okay.
opinion.
I see some of the bras you cats are proudly showing up to the movies, the check cashing spot, Popeyes with, you know what I mean, the family reunions with,
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving with, proudly.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's the internet and there's the real world. So I respect it. Yeah, hotty heedy ha ha. She has Botox. She's built like a fucking exclamation point in reverse. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All of those can
Whatever.
be true at the same
Like,
time. What's
absolutely.
Yeah.
also true is that bitch done hit the jackpot
Yeah.
137 million times over. So
Yeah. Sure did. Sure did. I'm looking at
all of those things can be fixed.
yeah. I'm
Money
looking.
is man-made. So is romance.
Right. So
So
is
is what?
marriage.
So is what?
So is romance. So is
And
marriage.
marriage.
Yeah.
Pretty
But
much
it's
anything.
also it's also a testament because we tell the guys all the time. Do we not? We tell the guys all the time, work out, work out, work out, work out. You could get a lot, you could get over on a lot when you work out. Same thing for women. Same thing for women. So these motherfuckers ain't telling you gonna hit the wall. Work out forever. Look good forever. Take care of your body, your heart, your mind, your skin, your soul, and you will always have options. Right? And people hate when I say it because everybody don't have options. Shut the fuck up. Work out, look good, and your options will be abundant. You radiate when you're loving yourself. Radiate.
Guys, guys, let me ask you a question. This is men in the chat. How does particularly the black man, how does the world look at you, perceive you, or treat you the moment you put a suit on? The moment you put a suit on, you go out into the world, what happens? In comparison to when you're probably dressed down, look like you just came from a robbery, I don't fucking know. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Or whatever it is, just the complete antithesis. How
Mm-hmm.
does the world view you when you have your suit on, when everything is pressed, solid, assuming that it's tailored or at least looks great? You know what I mean? How is it? And if you notice that there is a huge difference, it's because of the aesthetic. And when people see that the aesthetic is pleasing, you have what is called a halo effect surrounding you. When you have a halo effect surrounding you, human beings automatically believe that you must be competent, you must be of good stock, you must be, you know what I mean? I guess to quote the terms of your favorite, you know what I mean, dead guru, a high value man.
Yeah.
So just think about that. Packaging
Mm-hmm.
is everything. Marketing is everything.
Absolutely. Goes a long way. Mr. Justin, I'm going to disagree with you, but we let me accept this super chat. Thank you so much, Adam Hearn, for the super chat and supporting On the Block with Jen. Adam Hearn says, look into this violent red pill guru who lives in Japan. Has charges against him from punching a Latina in a club in Tokyo. Abba and Preach just did a video on him with receipts on others. FBI, Interpol. Oh shit! Take him down. Red flag him.
Oof, he got a
Red
few
flag
flags
him.
on him. He got an American flag or somebody's flag on him. We got the
Good luck,
LGBT
nigga.
flag, the red flag.
Let it all come down and let it be biblical.
What I say, Jen? Good luck, nigga. Good luck, nigga.
You do know that. You do. All right, so Mr. Justin, let's dissect. I'm gonna have to disagree. I'm gonna have to
Losing
disagree.
how in what regard? Because his girl.
I guess because his girl looked at him at a party. Here's the thing: we're still human at the end of the day. I'm sure she thought he was attractive, but I would have agreed with you had Lauren Sanchez left Bezos and ended up with DiCaprio.
That would have been a dope move. Like,
Right? No, that would have been like, oh, he's a loser. Like she saw DiCaprio at a party and left a fucking billionaire for DiCaprio. But she
like,
didn't
damn.
leave. She was planted. Here's Mr. Justin to clap back. Hello, Mr. Justin.
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on?
I brought
We are good.
I brought the ass cheeks because you stopped Freaky Fridays.
I sure did. But you know what? We're naturally
Shame on
freaky.
you.
So every now and then, you know what I mean? We just say it just comes out. We just like. So what say you? What are you talking about? What is this, Mr. Justin?
Yeah, well, she didn't just look at him. He led her away with him. And let's just all right. So DiCaprio is he's not in some lower tax bracket. Okay, he's a well-to-do, very wealthy, probably a millionaire actor. Okay,
Oh, he is very much a millionaire. Yeah.
but in comparison to Bezos, he might as well be on food stamps.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
and he
Correct.
walked up, said a little something to that girl in her ear, and she broke off. She broke off at that party. Everyone saw the video, and Bezos was lambasted on social media for like a week.
that was probably her childhood crush or something.
No, it's just he's got more solid game than the size of Bezos's wallet.
No, I
And
think
that's
she
just
saw
it.
that jaw. I think she saw that jaw.
No,
and she
it's
saw
no, it's not.
physically-
It's not. It's who he is. It's the vibe. It's everything that he is that Bezos is not and cannot buy. So
I think
because
you're-
no
I
matter
think
how
you're-
much money you have, no matter how much money you've got, you cannot buy sexual attraction. You cannot buy being a man. You cannot buy that strong vibe that
You're
comes
basically
off
saying
of
the
you.
sauce.
But you-
what we
but
call
you
the
can't-
sauce.
You can't, yeah,
But-
you can't buy the sauce.
You can't buy the woman. You can't buy the woman. though.
Right, but you don't actually have her. You have
You
her
have
on the
enough.
surface. Right,
have
enough, right? But that's not
Okay.
real. That's not real deep satisfaction. But I guess at that woman's age, the mom with the 3 kids, she's just like, fuck it, right? How old is she?
53.
Right, at 53, she's like, yeah, fuck it. I just want a nice life. She doesn't care about being touched deeply, right? She doesn't give a fuck anymore, right? She's got this great opportunity. She's like, yes, okay, I'll take this for what it is. But Bezos is not that guy, right? If you remove all of his money, what is he? He's just a dude. He's just an average dude that has been passed up and passed up and passed up all throughout his life. And the only thing that separates him is his business acumen and his wallet.
Okay, I'm at a loss. His business acumen and his wallet is a big fucking deal. Now, I hear what you're saying about
You know
sexual
what I'm talking
attraction. I know what you're talking about, and I understand some guys make you wet, some guys don't. But how
I'm
is the
talking about
guy
wet
that
here, wet here, not
wet
between the eyes.
wherever, wet
No,
wherever,
that's-
under
no,
your
it's-
arm here,
no,
whatever.
no,
Okay,
it's a big
wet
difference.
wherever. Okay,
Yeah.
but here's the thing: how is that guy valuable or more valuable? Okay, that guy is a feeling. You understand that, right? He's just a feeling.
Yes.
That guy that makes you wet up here is just a fucking feeling, like chocolate.
No,
We get
not like
horny.
chocolate.
Yes,
No,
yes.
no, it's
I'm
not
a
like
woman.
chocolate.
Can I talk about how men make me feel, Justin? Unless you okay.
I do know, because how many women
Okay.
have you turned on?
Oh my goodness, Lord Almighty.
Right? I've got more years of experience on dealing. You've got more experience with you,
I've
but I've
got more
got more experience
experience with men than you do. I've got more experience reacting to men who's made me feel like that than you do. That's where I'm
males.
coming from. You can't tell me about that part, and I can't tell you
Males.
about you dealing with women. What I'm saying is that how valuable is that guy that makes you hot when you use him as basically a human dildo, and then you're like, you've got to go because
Yeah.
this is real life, this is real value, this man is real value. Now I'll use you as a, you know what I mean? It's the same thing as a woman beating off or using a vibrator. It comes and it goes, then we get back to our real life. So how is that man really the valuable one when he's expendable? You are a feeling, sir. I'm feeling horny, I want to
I'm
get
not.
dicked real good, and then you gotta go.
I'm not
Kind of like
talking
the
about.
pool boy.
I didn't talk
Yes.
about getting dicked. Right? You brought it sexual, not me.
Yeah, but it includes sexuality. It includes
Sometimes
you. It always, you
DiCaprio
cannot
didn't fuck that
exclude.
girl.
Yeah, and she didn't go with him. She's not hooked on DiCaprio.
No, but not currently. But in that moment, he did nothing. All he did was just talk to her in her ear, and she totally left Bezos aside. One of the wealthiest men in the world had no
Well,
sway over that woman in that moment.
I don't know what video you saw because if anything, DiCaprio looked awkward in that moment. Like I don't really want to come in between this. He didn't sway her or pull her away across the party. Bezos was laughing. I saw the video. I played it here multiple times. So I think you're embellishing just a little bit. It wasn't like DiCaprio walked in and she dropped Bezos'
No,
arms
I'm
and
not being
ran.
dramatic. No, I'm not putting a dramatic spin on it like you are. Right? I just said that
I
he
saw the
spoke to.
video. I
Right,
played it.
he spoke to her, and she
Mhm.
broke off from Bezos. And
That's not what I saw, but okay.
Yeah, I'll have to
What I
review
saw
it.
was a
Perhaps,
woman.
perhaps I'm
What I
remembering it
saw.
wrong.
What I saw was a woman who was damn near ready to suck his dick in the middle of the goddamn motherfucking ballroom. That is what I saw.
Hmm.
Now I saw DiCaprio attempting to defuse the situation because of course he doesn't want to. He most likely doesn't want shit with Bezos, and she's not really his type.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? She's
Right.
about maybe 20 or 30 years older than what his type is. So in that regard, I don't think anything would have happened between either of them. Now, I will say this about Bezos. Bezos, yeah, he was a geeky, skinny, whatever, so on and so forth. He basically visually wasn't what he was right now. He got on PEDs, you know what I mean? He got on a cycle, he put on some muscle, blah,
He
blah,
did.
blah. You know what I mean? He attempted to look, you know what I mean, a lot more masculine than he was prior. But overall, at the end of the day, you can still see the geek.
Oh God,
It's
yeah.
Well,
still
yeah,
there.
because
The
it's in
geek is
him.
still there.
And
You
and
know what I
and the
mean?
reason why he's so weak is because he did all that just to appeal to women, right? Do you think like I would imagine DiCaprio is not operating that way, right?
Well, he doesn't have to.
Right. He doesn't care. Bezos cares a lot. You know
Okay.
he does. You know he cares a lot.
But see, what he did was he took our suggestion,
Why do you
right?
think he made the mermaid?
But what I'm
Talk
saying
about
is
pedestalization.
he took our suggestion. We tell these gentlemen you got one or three things that you may want to do if you want to appeal to women. But all three of them is going to be you're going to benefit from them. Either get your money up, get your game up, or dress up, or get your body up. So he took one of our suggestions, and he's winning.
Well, what do you think game is?
You know how to talk. You know how to because I don't feel like he has his money is his game. Like he did one of
Well,
the
no,
three. You don't have
you
to do
said
all
get your
three.
body up, get your money up,
No,
and
no.
get your game
Okay,
up.
one of the three. One of the three is
Right.
we
And
got to do one
I'm
of the
wondering what you're calling game.
like a talk game.
Right. Being able to so
Yeah,
you're saying
talk.
get your money up, be able to talk to women and be able to and get fit. Right.
No,
One of
not
those
and
three.
or yeah
Right,
or
right. And I would say that as, a man who's been around and I would consider myself gamed up, that is being able to talk to women is not game. but I don't want to get into what that is. But
I mean, call it whatever
So
word
what
you
is
want to
game?
call it.
So what is game? What is
Yeah.
game?
it's I don't want to bring this conversation into something like deeply philosophical, but that is not what game is.
Okay, let me
But
keep
those are
it
all
simple.
very
Let me keep it
surface
simple.
level
Just know how to
things.
talk. Just know
So
how to
you,
talk.
Yeah.
Just know how
so
to
you
talk.
don't think so you don't think
Having
knowing
good
how to talk to a
communication
woman
skills.
is
Yeah.
is important?
Yes, having good communication skills is definitely important.
That's the
Okay.
point I'm making. Just
Yes.
talk.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to know. Like what you're
Yeah.
okay.
Like
Well,
with being able to talk a woman out of her drawers, as they say. Do you don't think that's a skill?
yes, but that's not game. Because
Oh, okay.
true game has nothing to do with women whatsoever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what can you define this? Because where I'm from.
Game is actually how you communicate with yourself as a man.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The game has nothing to do with women whatsoever. But the vast majority of men make the game about women. So they don't lift to make themselves healthy and strong. They lift to impress women. They don't get their money up because they're thinking about their future and their bloodline. They're getting their money up to impress women. They're not trying to communicate so that they're more articulate and they can get their thoughts across in a clear and concise manner. They're doing it to get women. They make the game about women. Most guys make the game about women, and that is actually skewing things like crazy. And we
But
end
I
up with
gotta
guys making mermaids out of some chick.
Okay,
Like,
so
what?
okay, so I mean, but he got money to burn. He could play like that, right?
Of course, but it shows his mindset. That's the most concerning thing, not what he does with his money. I don't care what he does with his money. It's the mindset that creates the action. I
So
don't
you
care if
don't
it
think
costs
that
$20.
so you don't think that you should be nice to the woman you're gonna marry? Do you just like,
Didn't say
bitch, I'm
that.
gonna marry you, shut the fuck up?
No, I didn't
Get
say
the
not. I didn't say don't be not. No, be easy on your microphone.
Because
It did
that's a
nothing to
nice.
you.
I mean, that's a nice thing to
Your
do.
microphone
Like
did not. It is
that
not
shit is dope.
okay. And do nice guys win?
Yes, when they're worth
Really? Where
138 billion dollars, they
but
win.
that's
When they're
not
worth
no,
138 billion dollars, because I
no.
don't. But let's not
Is
conflate,
he
okay?
winning or is his money winning?
Let's not. He is his money.
No, he's not.
He is his.
Right.
He is his money. We
What,
can't. Come
you know
on.
what? You're
Let's
right.
not.
You're
Let's
right.
not
You're
be
right.
disingenuous.
No,
The
you're right.
man is his money.
You're right. And
Right,
that's
when he
why
walks
he's
in the
losing.
room, let me say this because I think there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? There's more than one way to skin a cat. Leonardo is attractive, okay? Yay. If I had a choice, if I was a Lauren Sanchez, I'm going to look at DiCaprio. I'm going to text my little girlfriends and I'll be like, Leo can get it, girl. It's going to be a 5 to 15 minute conversation, whether he makes me wet or not. And then I'm going home. Okay, with my husband who's worth $138 billion. And if DiCaprio tried to come in between that, I'd kick him in the ass. Okay, because this is what's important. So, and I totally get women fall in love up here, but I never fell in love up here without a good dick stroke. Let's not get crazy. Okay, men just don't fuck your head up and have you whooped. They very much incorporate that stroke with that conversation. Never in my life have I been whooped on a man just writing me poetry. There was always a dick and a good stroke involved. Let's not get crazy. I don't know any women, my friends, my family, who've been whipped just because a guy was talking to her. There's a lot of dick involved in that conversation. A lot.
I'll speak from my perspective, you know what I mean, and the era in which I grew up. I am very much a man who, you know what I mean, as you know what I mean, what you would say, has been around the block. You know, I've dated various women, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? I have been into taking care of myself, into my career, so on and so forth. I believe in all of these things and whatever would have you. Yes, I go to the gym to actually, you know what I mean, be in shape, take care of my health, so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, yes, I will say this, and I am proud to say it. I go to the gym for the 3Fs, to be able to fight, fuck, and get my fucking finances. And it is what it is. Now, for me to sit here and say that, oh no, I don't think about, you know what I mean, attracting women when I go to the gym and blah, 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 so on and so forth. I'm not going to say that because I'd be disingenuous. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't, you know what I mean, think about the kind of home that I have or the kind of decor of the home that I have. You know what I mean? I don't think about, you know, I wonder if women would like this and so on and so forth or whatever. You know what I mean? I like attracting women. you know, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to get a fucking dungeon. You know what I mean? The thing about, yeah, I'm gonna be able to bring a woman into this situation, and she's just going to melt the moment she sees a picture of a fucking gargoyle on the fucking
Yeah,
ceiling.
but if
I'm
that's
gonna
I
what
have
you're
used to
her
all
watch
say
that
about,
that.
cartoon. I
You
yeah,
used to
know,
watch that
but
cartoon.
if
we're
that's
not
what
gonna
you're all
say that.
about, why not? You
You know
know,
what I mean?
if you're into gargoyles, go for it,
Look,
man.
yeah, well, you know what I mean? Like, well, where I'm
Be
from, we
genuine.
do have, look, maybe it's a cultural thing, but, you know what I mean? From where I'm from, we do certain things that, you know what I mean, get the bitch's panties wet. It is what it is.
Oh
You
man,
know
if
what I
I'm into
mean?
gargoyles, I'm like putting them gargoyles up and like,
I mean,
honey, take it or leave it. This is how I decorate.
Cherokee Bill, if Bezos is a long-term trick, so is every husband on the planet. So is every fucking
Right.
husband on the
Yeah,
planet. Every
somebody
husband is
so,
Well,
spending money.
isn't that
somebody
the
posted
truth?
earlier today on Facebook, if you're a prostitute until you get married. I was like, no, that's when you really become a sex worker. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, sir? What are you talking about? You're just a
Oh my
glorified
Every
fucking
sex worker.
god. Let's get into the main topic. We got something
She's
going
like,
on with
there's some
the
lube on my
brothers.
ring right now.
It's like,
Right.
listen, salute to all the married people. Shout out to all the married
Uh-huh.
people. I cannot.
Nope.
Um,
Mm-mm.
you know,
But
I listen.
you're right though.
I've been to Turks and Caicos. I've seen the rich white women getting off the plane in droves to go get, you know what I mean, the mandingo, and then right back to reality, and then they hit, you know what I mean. It's not, and I don't think that they're going to Turks and Caicos because the guys got game and could fuck up their head. They want some nice stroking, and then they take their asses back home to reality. That was my only point. Like, just because we're involved with a man or married to a man or engaged to a man doesn't mean that every other man ceases to be attractive. We can see other men that are attractive, but we know where home is, and we're not fucking that up in the tune of $138 billion. Like, no woman in her right mind. It's not gonna happen. Not happening.
Harumi, you're absolutely right. But very few women are turning down a big dick.
Mhm. Well, no, well, size queens aren't, but you know, if it's too big, they're gonna be
I,
turning that
I
shit
know
down.
I know a couple of girls who don't like them. I'm about to say I know a couple of girls
That
who
is
don't
true.
like them. Yeah,
There is a threshold.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's just not. Guys with huge dicks are similar to guys that are very attractive. They feel they don't know how to use much else.
Mhm.
It's like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm attractive, so I get a lot of women. And guys, you know, because you're supposed to have a big dick, right? Men feel like, yeah, that, you know, I got it. So that it's like you still have to know how to move your
Right,
body and
right.
talk during sex and touch, and you can't just be like, yeah, look at me, I got a big one, and I know this is what you women like. No, no,
And
what are you
usually that's
doing?
how it is. Yep.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the problem with the big ones. So don't,
Hmm.
guys, don't be fooled.
Well, you know, Jen, you were absolutely right when you said that Bezos is his money, right?
Yeah, he is.
Right. And that's the problem, right? Because
For who?
anyone, see, that's the problem with fame. That's the problem with riches and things like that. When you're out here like that, because everyone and anyone, you can't tell if they actually like you,
You know
right?
what though?
There's no
Coming
way
from
to
a
tell.
but coming from a place where he was probably overlooked and like not being chose, not being like, he probably doesn't really care. Like what I've realized about
Of course he
a lot
does.
of people like sweet little lies. A lot of people like to be told what they want to hear, right? That's
Yeah.
one of the biggest lessons I learned. When I first got into business and I was doing the whole modeling, coaching bit thing and stuff like that. I was like, oh, they don't want to hear truths. They want to hear pretty little lies. That's what they're paying for.
Mhm.
So he gives me one of those people who will pay for pretty little lies. So if it's not a problem for him and it's not a problem for her, it's not a problem.
Right, but that's sad.
And we're also, I mean, it's fun. It's fun in games to speculate. We're also speculating.
Of course,
Okay.
of course.
We're
Yeah,
also
none of
speculating
us know
because,
anything about these
I
people
mean,
whatsoever,
right.
really.
He looks nerdy on the outside, but the man did make a fucking fortune. We don't know what he's like in bed. We don't know what he does to her privately. We're just assuming like,
Mhm.
oh, he's a short, bald headed guy. Maybe he has, we don't know. I mean, I've been surprised before. You know what I mean? I was like, holy shit, okay. I didn't know you were. So we don't know. We're speculating on the outside.
Of
And
course.
it's fun.
Right.
James Oko, thank you for the super chat, sir. James Oko says, and Jen perfectly explained why women can't hit it and quit it like men can't. James, were you absent yesterday? I saw you in the
They
chat
can.
yesterday.
I don't know what he's talking about. Women can.
We can.
Yeah,
We
they do it all the
do.
time.
Right.
We can and we do.
Right. So James, you realize how many average men women come across? Right. So you hear this a lot. I was thinking about this a lot this today, where guys complain, and you hear this in all the red pill spaces. I'm sorry I missed your red pill show. That would have been a lot of fun. But where they hear like women have all these options, right? And they do. Like you could literally get laid every day of the week if you wanted to by a different guy, right? It wouldn't take much effort. But it's not really dick from men that you actually want, right? Because it's like, and it could be rich dick, it could be good looking dick, it could be tall dick, it could be funny dick, it could be charming dick, but it's not man dick, right? Yep. And man dick is very rare.
Correct.
Right? And let me repeat this. Even rich dick.
No.
Right?
No, it's just rare, period. Yeah.
There's fun dick. But it's not the dick that you're looking for, right? That's attached to a man, not male or rich male, good-looking male, a funny male, a successful male, charismatic male. They're all just males. So that's the problem. You have tons of options, but tons of options of shit that you don't actually want, right? And that is where, yes, you can hit it and quit it, but it's with dudes who are just average that you're not really that much into.
Okay, so I'm glad that you clarified, because now I hope people understand we can hit it and quit it. We do. Long as we're not emotionally attached to that guy, or it's not really good, like we can and we do and we have. Trust me.
I just, a lot of you guys need to get rid of this idea that, you know what I mean, the moment that you enter a woman, her body is filled with some sort of bonding chemical.
I keep telling them that.
Pair bonding.
Yeah,
oh,
right.
No. She can't pair bond. She can't.
I don't care what these guys told you, man. It just, she's not going to fall in love or get emotionally attached to every penis that goes inside of her. You know what I mean? Actually, if you know what you're doing, you can make a woman fall in love with you without even touching her one time.
Hello.
And Haran, can I elaborate a little bit? As a matter of fact, a woman could be very much feeling you, and after your dick, be like, oh.
Yep. Because sometimes there's a shape problem. There's
right.
Yep.
Right, because it might not be the right shape inside, or the
right
for you,
angle,
or the right angle, like all kind of little things.
But men think it's a magic button, like I'm gonna put this in her and she's gonna. No, sometimes you put it in there and it's like, and then we gotta wait till you leave, and then we text our friend like, girl, let me tell you, I finally did it, and it was blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Oh,
if you were the fly on a wall when women are talking, you wouldn't say 99% of the shit that you say.
Oh yeah, it would crush men. It would absolutely crush them. Males.
It would crush
I keep
them.
messing that up. It would crush males hearing what women actually think about the sex that they get. It would destroy them.
Because most men, you know what I mean, especially when they get in circles, everybody's a sex god. You know what I mean? In every male circle, everybody's a sex god. Everybody's hung past their fucking kneecaps. You know what I mean? Every dude knocks it down. But if you talk to their girls, if you listen to them, then you know what I mean, you get the inside info. You find out that a lot of people out here really, a lot of dudes really out here.
Oh, I got a good one. Jen, how about this? They don't just do it with you all. Sometimes they be so delusional, they'll do it with us. I'll be like, they be like, yeah, babe, you did not. And I'm like, well, hold on, did we have the same sex? Was I there? Like, we did that together?
Right.
We was in on this together? What day was that? I missed that day. Like, they will talk it like to you as if they did. I mean, I've had the worst sex, and that guy think that he really did something. I'm like, clearly, you really can't think that you did something, sir. Like, we were there. We were both there. Like, how did you convince yourself that you did anything?
What is it? Men never talk about the women who slept with them one time and blocked them.
Never.
Oh,
Tell your boy about that so we can stop all these delusions.
Yeah. And here's the thing, right? So I can speak on this from experience. It's a lot of times, or well, sometimes it's compatibility. It's sexual compatibility, right? So I've had amazing sex with some partners, and then others, they don't call back, right? Because it just wasn't on, right? We didn't have that whatever that is, right? It just wasn't there. And yeah, I remember it clearly, you know, and this girl was like, we slept together 3 times, right? And the last time she just never called me, never showed up. I'm like, all right, you know, it just, but I knew, right? I knew that it wasn't as popping as other partners have been. And I was like, all right, you know, but you just have to accept that. Right. You got to accept that you're not going to be compatible with everybody. But the problem is deluding yourself and thinking like, oh man, like just because you got off that means something, or just that she got off means something. Right. There's like orgasm is just an orgasm. Right. It's not like really impacting her. Right. It's not making something of the situation. It's just providing nerve stimulation to a point of climax, right?
Right. Correct. And that's why the sooner they realize that, they'll stop saying they can't hit it and quit it. They'll stop saying that.
I think a lot of guys need to sit down and just really respect the idea and the concept of sex itself, and you just do your homework on certain things. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with, you know what I mean, studying things and learning more, asking questions, so on and so forth, man. It doesn't make you a beta or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean, they call it or whatever, you know what I mean? Because a lot of you guys are just out here making fools of yourself, and you don't know you're making a fucking fool of yourself. You know what I mean? You thinking she didn't call back because she's a 3 or 4 narcissistic bitch and blah blah blah, so on and so forth. No, she didn't call back because you're whack.
Right. Or she just wasn't feeling it. Wasn't compatibility, right?
Exactly.
It might be whack to somebody, but another person, it's great.
Give a shit to, right? You know? It happens. It's life.
But guys delude themselves thinking I'm a god to every single woman that crosses my path, right? Sexually, right? And that's just impossible. You can't have compatibility with every single person you have sex with. It doesn't make sense, right?
The math of it, no, the mathematics, mathematically impossible.
I mean, I know porn stars. I'm friends with a porn star. Well, he's retired now. He's fucked thousands of women. He doesn't have compatibility like with everyone that he works with. Some it's off the charts, right? And that's when there's like really good scenes where like it feels real, right? And others, he's just doing a job. There's nothing there. He's just going to work. Punch in, punch out.
Right.
Kyrie, stop the cap.
God, yeah, like, I don't know what y'all talking about. You know what I'm saying? I see with the Dominican hat on right now.
Yeah.
Right.
With the weed in it.
Somebody who doesn't show their face and just puts a crown instead.
He comes up. Kyrie
He comes up.
Okay,
well, that's cool, dude. Good dude.
That's good.
Thank you for the super chat, Louis Cognier. Louis Cognier says, everyone is not deserving to participate in the sexual act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right.
I mean, the best bet is to, like some of what Mr. Justin says, some money, you know what I mean? A little money don't hurt, a little game don't hurt, you know what I mean? Like, it's better that she's well oiled before the clothes come off, because if she is not, then you leave it open for not getting a call back. If that's all you're banking on, getting her in the bed, that's a risk you're taking for not getting the call back because you didn't get in her head, you didn't get in her mind, you turn her on.
That's a great point. I was just thinking about that situation that I had, right? And I didn't do that. I didn't care enough to fuck her mind, right? On any level. It was just like she called me, I called her, and that was it. It was like, you know, just like late night booty call sort of thing, right?
Right.
And it was on my end and her end. And I didn't put in any effort because I didn't want her. I didn't want her to want me. And so I just like left it at that. And when you have those situations, it's not as satisfying at all, right? It's way more satisfying when you've gotten into a woman's head where her desire surpasses yours greatly, right? And she just wants to fuck, like, and like has to have you. That is way better. But it starts with, going into her mind, and tapping in.
So this comment right here I love by James, our friend. He says, nothing is sacred anymore. James,
what are we talking about here?
when is this
I knew
sacred
it.
age? When is this sacred age? Give me this sounds like a Make America Great Again statement. So when
James,
is
come up.
James is clutching his pearls.
Yeah, it's like
Nothing is
when
sacred.
was
This is a
this sacred?
this is a great situation right now for James to come up and shine, because in some context, I guess he was alluding to why aren't the nice guys winning with women when he was up here maybe a couple of weeks ago, something to that effect of only one guy is only one future's impregnating 30 Sierras and shit like that. You know what I mean? Whatever the fuck he said. So this is a great opportunity to come up here and explain to all of us why the nice guy is the better option, you know what I mean, or the dollar value Jeff Bezos is the better option, we could actually say.
But there's so many. Again, there's so much. And I could be wrong, but I'm probably not. A lot of these words that are constantly used to describe relationships and relations come from a biblical sense, right? All that the bonding and this and that, and they're just words. They're just words that someone put in your fucking head. I could think of 10 things that are sacred to me and has nothing to do with dick or vagina.
Yeah.
There are so many things that can be sacred, but I don't. These words are thrown around, and I'm telling you, it's like I said yesterday. These words are a setup to a miserable partnership and marriage, because you go into these marriages and these relationships thinking about all those biblical words. Meanwhile, she hates fucking you, but all you're worried about is it's sacred. It's just you and her, and it's sacred. Meanwhile, she's fantasizing about Michael B. Jordan and what his mouth do. You can't go in.
Oh, she's fantasizing much darker things than that. Trust me.
You can't go into relationships with these stupid words. These are setups. I'm telling you, traditions are setups for failure. They are setups for failure.
When I look at people, and like a lot of people who are just like frustrated and unhappy, when you kind of like talk to them, that's the bottom line that you see. It's like these expectations or how they think life is supposed to be versus how it is, and just accepting it and learning how to play their hand the best way possible. Like, and I had to tell myself this at one point. I was like, oh, the issue is you keep thinking about how, oh, it's supposed to be like this. This is how it's supposed to be. That's not fair. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like, I had to finally say, bitch, it is this. Like, deal with what is. Stop dealing with what's supposed to be.
And that's the sad. It's sad. That's what's sad, that it's supposed to be this way. And then when you ask them, where'd you get you're supposed to be? Why, in a Bible, or my mama told me. What do you think it's supposed to be? You, without religion, without your mama, without your grandparents, what do you think it's supposed to be? You, just you. What do you think? What makes you feel good? And you notice that people, it's like tying their hands, because it's like, I never thought about what it's supposed to be to me.
I've had plenty of those conversations with people.
What words are you talking about?
Things like sacred, tradition. What's the other word? A woman's, when she's supposed to be innocent.
Vows and
the vows, the tradition. It's supposed to be like this, and women are supposed to be this way, and men are supposed to be this way,
women and so on, and whatever, and
there's a word for it, like a woman that's the ones that don't sleep around, the ones that she's supposed to be. Yes, a virtuous woman. And it's like, these little boys grow up and they're told, go find you a virtuous woman, a woman that has no body count, and then you go find her and you're miserable. And in my fucking DMs, do you not see it's not working?
Right.
It does not work. I don't know how many times men have to run into a wall, and women too. It does. Those traditions and those, nothing is sacred anymore. We're animals. We're supposed to mate and procreate. What are you talking about?
Well, that's
I
what I'm saying.
think
I'm confused about the anymore part. That just sounds like make America great again. Give me the date and time when the shit was sacred and good and people wasn't fucking and being hoes. Everybody
I
been hoes.
I I
Even
think
back to the Bible.
I think the I
Yeah.
think there's a huge underestimation when it comes to marriage. I think when people get married, they think they believe that there's no room or no need for primal sex at no point in time. If anything, you know what I mean, after people get married, after a while, you know what I mean, if shit ain't really popping like that, somebody's gonna want to get fucked. Not made love to or held or whatever. Somebody's gonna want to get, want to get choked the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? The fucking ankles behind their ears, impounded the fuck out. You know what I mean? And this is just reality. This is again just nature.
Let
And
me
I
say
think that a
this.
lot of people don't consider that.
Let me say this around. Okay. 50 Shades of Grey, $1 billion franchise now. The books and the movies combined, right? $1 billion
Mhm.
franchise.
That shit is a
Who the
billion-dollar
fuck?
fucking
Yes,
franchise.
the movies and the books
Jesus Christ.
globally. Who the fuck do men think were buying those books? They think who they think was buying those books? The hoes? They think the hoes
No,
were
Those
buying it. It
housewives.
no.
wasn't. It
Those
wasn't the hoes
housewives.
because the hoes are living
No.
that life.
Right, right,
It wasn't the hoes.
Everyday women. Everyday
right.
women.
Right.
Housewives.
And let me say this just really quick for people who are listening. 50 Shades is a massive misunderstanding and bastardization of
Absolutely.
the BDSM lifestyle.
It
Do
absolutely is.
not take that as an example of truth. It is a
Nope.
fantasy, right? It's a fantasy that touches slightly on reality, right? So do not take that book or those movies as a sample of what BDSM lifestyle actually is. If you have any questions, you can find me and hit me up. But that's not what it's all about. However, your point is that women have crazy ass fantasies, right? The highest selling genre of book worldwide are those smutty romance novels,
Yes.
right?
Right.
I've said this before. There's religious books and then smutty romance novels and then everything else.
Right.
Look, when I was
Worldwide.
when I was a kid, you know what I mean. I remember one time before I think I went into my mom, I stumbled into my mom's room and she had this novel, and it was just like this dude on the cover with his shirt open and his hair was blowing in the wind. He was holding the woman and shit like that, and the shit looked like it was bookmarked and shit like that and all that. I was like, wow, she really likes this book. You know what I mean? And I'm like 8 or 9 at the time. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I was like, wow, mom really likes this book. As I got older, I was like, oh, now I see what my mom was probably fucking doing in there, reading this fucking book. You know?
But yeah, I know when you get older, you're like, oh.
Oh, yeah, like, oh, okay, so this is what it is. Oh, okay.
Thank you so much for the super chat. Necessary Evil, beautiful lady. Hit that like and subscribe for me. I see y'all lurking. Hi. Necessary Evil says, when a woman shifts from I'll give him some to instead I want some, it's a new dawn. It's a new day. There's no turning back for her.
That's right.
This is correct.
I had a girl tell me she want the elbow. I'm sorry, I said that out loud.
Yeah. This is actually I said something similar to a comment. You know, guys.
Again, I said that.
You know, guys are like
Where's
talking
the
about
edit
ownership.
Right.
You know, guys are always talking about ownership. You know, like
Right.
this is like this is my pussy, like all that sort of shit,
Right.
It's big difference when he says it versus when she says it, right? This is mine versus this is yours is a huge, huge difference, right? So to kind of like mirror off of what Necessary Evil was talking about. And one of your super chatters is getting moody. They want you to read it.
Oh, my bad. Thank you for the super chat, Louis Connier. Louis Connier says, the old days are not now. We are living in a high materialistic and capitalist atmosphere. If you don't have the looks or game, shut the fuck up and pay. You got to pay the ugly tax. Ooh,
Shit.
shots
Ugly
fired.
things.
Shots fired, but it is so fucking true. That's the same goes for women. When women are not attracted, they got to do more.
Right.
I've seen it up close and personal. You just got to do more. You got to pay the ugly tax.
Right.
Sorry, I told you, you're gonna like on the block with Jen, but it's gonna hurt sometimes.
I mean, people fail to realize that this world is shallow. People are shallow. It's just that simple. So
That's the basic. I'm so sorry, Lily.
no, I mean that's just the basics. Yeah.
This lies at the core of the coffee, the Starbucks argument. You know, the coffee date argument. This lies at the core of that because a lot of those guys who want to do that, they are on the verge. They're basically saying that, well, the other guy didn't have to fucking do all this other shit, and you gave him the pussy. Well, you're not him. That's why you're here. That's why you're here doing what you do. Because there's times in your life where you'll be the guy that's paying, and you won't be the guy that's paying. You just hopefully women go
through the same thing. Like you guys have smashed women that weren't attractive, that had to do a lot more, probably go see you versus you pull up to her house. You'd be in your house and you'd be like, yo, you come see me. But if it's a woman you're attracted to, you're running over there to get her. Come on, yeah. Men do the same shit.
Justin, yes or no?
I'm thinking about it. I gotta think back to when
how quick you reply to a text, or whether you do reply to a text based off how she looks and how she makes you feel.
I'm always because you know me. I'm more about the mind, so I'm always very.
So the fine ones never got carte blanche.
They're always treated the same, right? But I was thinking about a couple where it was like, yeah, you just come to me, but still there's that base mentality, right? But I get what you're saying. There's less like attention, there's less energy. You give a shit less, right? When you're not as attracted, you don't really put in you don't put your A game in, right?
No,
okay, so let me ask you a question. The ones that you didn't per se put your A game in, were they that attractive, or it's just like, yeah, fuck it, just come over, I'm not doing anything right now?
It's not as
I'm polishing my gargoyle on the fucking, veranda right now. Just come on over.
Come over. Help me polish my gargoyle.
This is an interesting statement. Single women are less protected. Less protected by whom? James.
He hasn't answered yet
because you got a lot of smoke tonight.
And a lot of people asked him that question. He hasn't answered it yet.
Wait, protected from what?
I have no idea.
He hasn't answered it yet.
Zombies?
I don't know.
Wait,
because here's the thing.
Scary.
Locusts?
Because here's the
that's a good one. That's a good one. Listen. If I was thinking about the locusts, that's a good one.
If locusts come, I'm gonna need protection. I can't do bugs. I can't do bugs. That is the only time where I'm like, where are the men at? Anything else I can handle.
The queen said, not if there's a license to carry, honey.
Hello. I'm like, here's the thing. If you're a dweeb married to a woman, and I'm a woman that's insured and trained and armed, as a single woman, I'm more protected than your wife.
Well, that's what I mean. Protected from what? Is it from violence? Is it from social pressure? Is it from her own mind? Is it
James,
from
you gotta
her
elaborate.
family? Protected from what?
Family. I don't know.
Single women.
And we have our wonderful new diamond basically coming up with her own answer. Single women are protected from dust buckets. Yes, darling. You always find a way to just slip that in there, right? Always on time.
Not
always
the dusties. Not the dusties. Oh my god.
Dude,
Oh,
Scrapple
God.
M, that's funny as hell.
We love our new diamond here, child. We love new diamond.
I don't know where it comes from. He was probably just holding on to that one just to say it because it's so left field. But he said, Scrapple M, dealing with an ex is like taking a shit and putting it back in your ass.
What?
What the hell?
Where did that come from? But it's so funny. I'm just gonna read it anyways.
No, it's not. Absolutely, James. I agree with you. Everything isn't about sex. It's bigger things in life.
I don't know.
Look, listen, James. I understand where you're coming with that. I hear you, but life just ain't worth living without an orgasm. I'm sorry, you know what I mean.
I don't know.
I'm just gonna, I'm
Or
just gonna say it.
you could widen it. You could say pretty much everything's about fucking,
But
right?
pretty
You know, if
much.
you widen the scope and you think about it, it's because like what is fucking? You're taking two energies and smashing them together, right?
Yes,
But that's what reality is all about, right? I mean, we wouldn't be here if we didn't have friction of our atoms, right? We would be flying apart. Like it's all about friction. So and we're constantly dealing with men and women, sexual polarity, whether it's man or woman or whatever. So it's always going to be around. It's always going to be there, and it's in everywhere. It's seeped into everything that we do, right? It's just part of life, right?
I would say this to your point, Justin. Here's the thing: when you understand sex energy, because it's not just about what I mean. Just the act of sex. When you
Yes,
understand
Jay.
sex energy, charisma to some degree is, sex energy. When you don't understand how to use that and so on and so forth, you attract people to you. You know what I mean? People want to be you, people want to be next to you, so on and so forth. Because subconsciously they're saying to themselves, this person gets ass, or this person is desirable. So let me be closer to this person.
And I'll say this. Listen, it's what's up, Simon? How are you?
What's up, Simon?
Yeah, I'm cool, man.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. You got
Yo,
down right off the
Jen,
bat.
Jay
Nah,
Carvassier quoted Oscar Wilde, and it's perfect. That's it right there.
Oh
Oscar
yeah,
Wilde.
yeah, yes,
E-
Oscar Wilde. Yes, I remember
Everything
that
in the
quote.
world is about
About
sex,
sex.
except sex. Sex is about power.
Absolutely.
no, sex is
So
overrated.
I'll say that. Well, hold on. I'll say this. Hold on. Now we're getting a little crazy. I'll say this. Jesus. I will say this. It's nice. Listen, I'm like, you're not
Oh
gonna drive
man,
me crazy. Okay. It's nice that James Oko is nice. I said before, we need nice people in the world, men and women. We need nice
Absolutely.
people. My
Mhm.
only advice is don't fool yourself and don't be selfish. Okay. Don't talk yourself into the way you think and the way you are is the way the woman you're going to end up with is going to feel as well. So you could run around and say there are bigger things than sex on the world, and you could say sex is overrated, like Simon did. But here's the thing: does your partner feel that way, or is she going to go along with what you're saying and deep down be wondering what Michael B. Jordan's mouth do? Be reading 50 Shades of Grey. Be wondering what it would be like for a man to rip her panties off and choke her up and give it to her real good. Is your woman going to be thinking that behind your back or while sexing you, while you're like, sex is overrated anyway? And then the other guy in the chat talking about sex is not that important. Don't fool yourselves into thinking that just because a woman nods and smiles says, yeah, that's true, baby.
And
Because I
women
in the
guarantee,
are
back of in the back of her
Jen,
mind, she's
women
getting
don't forget
love
pounded
wearing the
out.
don't forget wearing the tank top like a holster. You know.
there you
and
go. Damn it. Let's look
Back of her
women.
dangerous.
mind, back of her
Dang,
No,
give
mind,
me
she's
some Mad
getting
Max. Give me some Mad Max in this bitch.
she's
The
getting
end of the
yeah,
world.
pro boned in her mind by the pool boy. You know, I'm
honey.
leaving.
So we have.
Women.
I love me and I love me a nice guy. I love me
Yes,
a nice
yes,
girl.
yes,
Yeah, I'll make the
yes.
world go round. But let's not be
Absolutely.
delusional that your partner is gonna feel that way. And let me tell you something about partners. You know the least of them. Their
Mhm.
girlfriends
Oh,
know them. Their boys
Right.
know them, and they know them 100 times better than you do.
and James, we're going to go ahead and give you a homework assignment. We're going to need you to watch Sex Life, and that'll
Mhm.
break it all down to you. Because
On Netflix, Sex Life
on
on Netflix.
Netflix, on
Well, real
Netflix.
quick, I'm gonna do something nice. I want to shout out my girl real quick and
oh
bid
Lord,
her good evening. She's going to sleep right now, and
Aren't you a nice guy?
I'm a nice guy. Good night,
But
That
baby.
is
you
so
guys
Go to
on
nice.
this
go to sleep.
platform is crazy, man. But like, I'm sorry, like the way these men are talking up here.
Go ahead, give us the
How, how,
opposite.
how, how,
Tell us how. Tell us
how they talking? How they
Simon.
talking,
Oh
son?
no, man! You
How
guys
they
Simon,
talking?
are
Simon, Simon, Simon.
side
Tell us.
talking.
You go ahead and justify. You tell us why. You tell us how unimportant sex is right now. We need to hear it. You school us.
Without
School
shallow
us.
asses.
School us. Tell us why it's overrated. Tell us.
Okay. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate that. Because it's very important. And the thing is like, I'll give you an example. I have a woman in my life right now. She's not from the same country I come from. Like,
Okay, that's how it worked. I was trying to figure it out.
no,
Okay,
wait,
Shots
Wait,
fired.
let's pause. Let's pause our young man real quick. Let's pause our, because I know the youngins come up here and sometimes they talk out the side of the neck. Yes, my pussy's gonna be bomb forever, James.
Second.
It's gonna be bomb forever. Okay.
You know what I've been
Right?
through already. Okay.
You gotta worry. You gotta worry about what your woman is gonna be fantasizing about while you fantasizing about me. Stay focused. Go ahead, Simon.
Look, James. As long as it's super soaking well into her 60s, as long as it's super soaking well into her 60s and it's tight as hell,
around here
that's
having
some good
self
stuff.
control. It's like, God damn, I'm supposed to just be what? Can you just
What, Simon?
See, this is what happened when you ban Freaky Friday. We go off the rails. We start talking.
No,
We're gonna get into the subject, but I just wanted Simon to explain why sex is overrated really quickly. If he can do it in under 2 minutes, for Pete's sake.
All right,
I'm
speak a little
trying.
faster.
People keep interrupting.
All right, go.
All right, cool. Yeah. So what I was saying is, although I've been through certain things, I've linked up with a nice lady. Like she's cool. Like we talk all day long, every
All
day.
day long.
As a matter of fact, every day.
Mhm.
Like it's not a problem. So like I was on the internet for a while, and it's just like it's crazy because like I had a child with somebody, and it just causes me problems because that's just where she was at. But right now, I can't be more God blessed. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so I appreciate what God provides for us because it's like sometimes when you're in the dark, you can't really see through the mess. You can't.
I'm telling you, those fucking English, those college professor lectures must be. Oh my god, they must be brutal. You Brits are some long-winded motherfuckers. God damn it!
It's no need to be rude, but I appreciate your comment. Did that answer your question, Jen?
It sure does.
Yes,
It sure
I
does.
appreciate it. I
Wow.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you,
Thank you
Simon.
I
Wait,
understand
you
so much
speak
better
with
now.
you speak with her like that every day?
Yeah,
Your woman has like incredible patience. She must be a godsend.
Why'd you say that?
Because you talk very slowly.
Yeah,
and
but we're lawyers.
never
Yeah, but we're
make
lawyers, so you
a
don't
point.
understand. Like, you don't understand it shit. So it's like
We don't
you
understand.
never
Maybe we
No
don't.
one does,
just
Simon.
come
No
to
one
the
does.
point. We don't.
yeah,
No,
I
I don't
know
understand.
because like
I guess I don't. I'm cool.
yo, if you got a problem, call me. But we're lawyers, so you're not in that realm. So like
You're an attorney?
yeah.
What's that? What
So
does that?
What kind of law?
Defending somebody? Are you
What does that
defending
got to do with
anybody?
anything? I'm
What
just
kind of
talking
law?
about speed of speech. That's all I'm talking about.
employment
Yeah.
law. But
Employment law.
yeah. So my
fuck.
job is to Yo,
Are you fighting for
you
people's
bored
jobs?
ass nigga. Don't try me like that. I'm telling you,
Okay.
like, I'm right.
I got you on my
Listen,
Megatron.
I mean,
yeah,
no, seriously. Are you fighting for people's jobs? Like, how does this work? I'm really curious.
that's what I do. Like, I've been doing that for the last 10 years of my life. So,
So people's jobs are in your hand.
yeah.
So, okay, so really quickly, let's shift. Let's shift. Tonight's
Right.
topic is
Raise up that
our
energy, Jen.
um tonight's topic is I didn't know we were gonna be talking about all of this. Motherfuckers are asking me, is my pussy gonna be good forever? Like, what is going on tonight? What is going on tonight? What is happening on the block?
I got on the panel. That's just what I do.
Jesus
God damn.
age. All right, let's listen. Tonight's topic was, are the average at best better mates? Okay. Lily, what was it that we were talking about the other day? So we could get into this. So we're not here all night. Let's get to the topic.
All right. Well, if I can remember correctly, what we were discussing, because the nice guy, the good guy, they're always saying that we're passing them up, and the nice guy finishes last, and that we're dumb for not choosing them, and going with the guy with the swag, and going with the guy with the money, and going with the guy that looks good, and it's like, hey, I'm here, I'm nice. The fuck is wrong with you, right? So. Are they right? Are they right?
Okay, so I know, Haran, you had said something about this topic as well. The guys that are average at best are always complaining that they get passed over for the Pookies and the Ray Rays, or the bad boys, or the guys that are like assholes, right? So are they the better mate because they're making six figures? They're, I mean, they're low vibe. They don't really care about sex too much. As you can see, a couple of guys are like, it's overrated. There are bigger things in life than sex. Is a woman better off with an average at best guy? Should women start looking at basically these lames, these guys that are making, good amount of money? They're making good amount of money. Don't necessarily work out all the time. They're home a lot, so they're not cheating. Is an
Yes.
average at best male?
Yes. They should. Sorry.
Hey, I love it, man. It's the opportunity for men such as this
I'm
to
buying my
shine.
cheek, yo. They
Yeah, go
should.
out there. Tell us, brother. Do it within a short period of time, though.
Simon, do you
Please.
consider yourself an average at best gentleman? Are you an average at best gentleman?
No, I'm pretty much above that, but I can
What's your height?
understand.
What's your height, sir?
My height is my discrepancy, but the thing is,
What's your
that's
height?
why do you want to know my height?
Why does that change someone from being
Because you
average?
said, because what's your height?
Okay, I'll tell you. I'm 5'9".
Okay, you're
Okay.
5'9", so you're under 6 feet tall.
Yes.
Okay,
I
but
don't.
you said you're above average. You said.
Yeah, because I'll lap these niggas all day long. Like in
What
terms
does
of
that mean, lap? What does that mean? Explain.
I'll turn these niggas out. Like in
How?
terms,
You'll
Pause.
turn
Hold
them out.
up.
Turning.
Well,
Do you know what that means?
You're wrong.
clarity.
What did he just say,
In
Haran?
America, that means something different. Could you
Yeah,
clear that?
Yeah.
so we need to be very careful. Maybe in the Brits it
The
means something else.
Pride didn't even start yet. Isn't Pride June 1st?
Yeah.
So
Too
does it
early.
mean beat them
Too
at a game
early.
of backgammon
yo,
or
This is
football over
pre-pride.
there? I don't know.
Yeah,
This
you're
is
gonna
the
have to explain
pre-pride
yourself
let's
because
stop
that
being
sounded bad.
stupid, okay?
What does that mean?
Okay.
I've got whatever I've got, okay.
Okay.
Which
We're gonna-
means I can provide for whatever. So
Okay.
I don't literally get on these platforms and start talking nonsense. Like I'm
You
literally
usually don't.
I don't. People do. They joke about it. They joke about it.
It's not a joke. Stop it.
Just keep going.
I mean, but it is funny though.
Yeah.
But it's not a joke.
It's a giggle. Okay, cool. But I'm that guy. So like,
You're that guy.
yo, at the moment, I don't know if whoever's on this platform is doing what they're doing, but I can do what I want to do. I'm privileged in that sort of sense. Like, so you can check my name, you can Google me, whatever. Like,
No.
yo,
Here's the thing. When I was talking about should women choose the average at best guys, you were cheering for that. So I was under the impression that you were representing for the average at best, but you're saying you're above average, so you were just cheering to cheer, I guess.
Yeah, no, but I just think that women in general should choose the average at best. But
Okay.
at the, they because it's problematic when they start to go above that.
Okay.
But isn't that linked to desire? She's saying that women shouldn't have desire.
You can have desire all day long. That don't mean shit. Like
You don't? It means
no,
something to the person who's desiring.
you can desire all day long, but
Right.
all it is really sort of like a fantasy.
Have you
So-
seen Sex Life?
I was about to say he might need to see it because the itch is always going to win.
Have you seen Sex
Yo,
Life?
I'm telling you, it's a
The show?
fantasy.
Have
Like,
you seen the show Sex Life?
No, I haven't. but I'm-
Check it out. It's on Netflix.
I'll
Right?
do
So
that,
the
but I'm-
reason why I asked about the height is because when a guy is under, look, we're wired the way we're wired. I know scientifically the 666 means something else. Justin explained it before. Got it. Good. But women are simple, so they throw out the number 666 for everything, right? But the 666 really means some other shit. Doesn't literally mean over 6 feet, 6 inches of dick, and 6 figures. It doesn't literally mean those things.
You say
However,
6 inches
if
of
you're
dick?
not,
God damn.
however, if
That's
you're
big-
not
that's
going to
big.
be,
That's too big, homie.
however, if you're not going to be, let's say, well endowed and you're not going to be tall, there are other ways to make up for it. Like Bezos, we just spoke about a guy who's not physically attractive, who doesn't have the height, but he's attractive in another way. Some people, work with what you got. Some guys work with some other shit. So I was just asking you your height because if you're under 6 feet, then maybe you have something else. You said you're an attorney. That could be attractive.
Right. But
That can be
Cooper,
attractive.
what was the lady's name in Sex Life? What was her name again?
Oh, I'm horrible.
Was
Oh,
it Billy?
Billy.
Yeah,
Billy.
Billy. See, she had Cooper, right?
Uh-huh.
And
The nice guy.
Right. But he is fantastic on many surface levels, right? He was tall, good looking.
I liked Cooper.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. But that's the thing. Like, it didn't do anything for her. It
Right.
did nothing for her. But as far as choice goes, an extremely logical choice, right?
Right.
Very reasonable, right? I can raise a family with this man. I can count on this man. He will never lie to me, right? He will do nothing. He is predictable, right? And it's a good choice, right? And so to this guy's point, like, well, like, fuck desire. No, that's what happens when you deny desire, right? Because that's the thing. She didn't really want Cooper. She knew that she should want him, but she didn't.
What are you talking about, bro?
The
It's a
show that
series.
you're not privy to.
It's a series
Yeah.
called
Yeah,
Sex
it's a
Life on
series
Netflix.
called Sex Life, right? Where this woman, she was a young party girl, and she decided to get her shit together, and she met this very sensible man who happened to be very successful, very good looking, on top of his shit. He owned his own home before even like getting married. Like, he was set up, right? And he was trustworthy, honest, like Captain America, right? This guy was like Captain America. Okay. And she gets with him and she's like, yes, all right, this is the guy. Okay. But prior to being with him, she had another lover, right? And this guy blew her back out, but also blew her mind out. Okay.
Right. Okay.
And couple years like being married to this guy, she's writing in her diary fantasies about this prior lover. And she can't get him out of her mind. She can't. And then it just turns into this bigger and bigger thing. And next thing you know, she's meeting up with the guy, and now she's cheating on her husband with this dude. And she's like trying to figure out like what is going on with her mind, what's going on with her life. And she's all turned upside down, right? Because she had the good thing. And she's like, why don't I want the good thing? And it's just sometimes you don't want the good thing, even though it's a great choice.
I actually really understand where you're coming from.
I want some
It's
likes.
not me.
I want
it's a show.
I want some likes.
That's
Can
just
I
what the
get
show's
some
about.
likes? Can I get some likes? We got
Yeah,
twice the people
pull the lights
watching.
up, man. God damn, what's wrong with these people out
Pull
here?
the likes out, okay? There's twice the people
Not
watching,
hard.
then I got likes. It's not hard. Just click, 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 click. Make me happy. Thank you. If you're not gonna super chat, hit the like for mama. Hit the like for mama.
Push the girls button. Do it.
There you go.
No, do that because it's wrong. Like, people
support. You're being entertained. Support. Spro Show says, aren't most people average? I don't know about most people are average. I think there are levels to everything. I think there are levels. I don't think it's either you're really, really hot and then you're average. I think there's levels, honestly.
Well, what's the metric though? Right? That depends. Like, to your point, what's the metric?
Society. Right? In my opinion, society.
There's different metrics within society. So, for example, like if you're talking about height, yes, most guys are average height, right? That's why we have an average, right? Most guys are average height. Most guys have average income. Most guys have average dick size, right?
No.
That's what an average is.
I don't have average dick size.
You don't have a dick?
I don't have average dick size. That's crazy.
We're not. Why are you taking this personally?
He really is.
No one's sitting here talking about you. We're not talking about you, sir. I don't know why you're injecting yourself. Is the conversation make you uncomfortable?
I don't have an arbitrary side.
We were talking about generalities. We were talking about generalities, and you stepped in and started talking about your personal.
You see how this
guy crazy about it? Nonsense. Since you got the Boston Tea Party.
I'll bring it back. And we'll go back to before we start.
Average dick size. This guy, I was like, oh no. It's like, God.
The queen.
Yeah.
No, she didn't say his little mushroom.
Let's throw them things.
Not the little mushroom. Louis Kanye, you sent me a super chat. I missed. Hold on now.
Y'all leave Simon out here alone. He out here fighting for people's jobs. God damn it! What's wrong with y'all people, man? Man. Goddamn respect.
Louis Kanye, I read your last super chat. What super chat you talking about? I read it. I missed the super chat.
I don't think so. I thought you called.
Oh wait. No. Okay, let me acknowledge the super chat because he is supporting the show. Thank you, Louis Kanye, for the super chat.
I missed it too.
Louis Conyer says, I have a dating course coming out, 10 down payments of $999, macking hoes through hypnosis. Contact Louis Conyer if you're interested.
Yo, Louis, get at me because hypnosis is some good shit, man.
Oh my goodness. Now we're hypnotizing the women?
Well, I don't know if it's hypnosis, but just this past weekend, I made my girl come just by telling her to.
Oh,
no. I wasn't even touching her.
That's bullshit, right, Simon?
I can. You know what, Simon? See, he's not even on the level.
What is going on right now?
I need to turn that light on.
He made a squirt too, Simon. He made a squirt too.
No, that I did not do.
Oh,
nope. It was 3 times in one evening. If you like,
it's capping, right, Simon? It's impossible to do that.
No, see, Haran knows. But Simon, I'd be happy to give you her information. She can absolutely confirm that for you.
Simon is I live.
Oh no! I'm sorry.
No, it was not. No, it was not over the phone. We were watching a movie, James. It was on the couch, just watching a movie.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, it's that's far beyond what I'm saying.
Kitten and Casket. Kitten and Casket says she's.
Go ahead, Lily. Go ahead.
I was saying, Kitten and Casket says she's had plenty of orgasms without being touched.
Yes,
it can happen. Yes, it's miraculously so.
Welcome, Spro Show.
Hello.
Oh, it's going to be a hell of a night.
Welcome to the madness. LW says, thank you for the super chat, sir. LW says, currently in that good thing position, she don't want to let go of my pipe.
Okay. Well, thanks for volunteering the information.
Wait a minute. So
And
you're stroking a woman right now, and you paused to super chat.
I think that's very nice.
I
I think
mean,
that
That's pretty
I take that as a
boss.
compliment. I take that as a compliment. Okay,
Right.
take
I
it where
think
I
that's
can get
great.
it. I
Oh,
take it where I
he
can get
couldn't
it.
handle it. He had to bounce out.
yeah,
That was
you
too much
needed
for
a
him.
moment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what was he
Simon
talking? What
was
was he
like,
talking
they're
about?
crazy.
I don't know. It's hard to pay attention to that guy. What's up, man?
James said
I'm
he
Justin.
James likes coming up when it's more serious topics. This relationships is serious,
Everything's
James.
serious.
So
Relationships
was
is
he
serious.
arguing? He was saying like, "Oh, average guys are better mates," while saying that he's not average.
Yes, that's what happened.
Oh,
That's
what's
why
wrong?
I was confused.
Right.
Well,
That's why we
I
wanted
think
him
you
to
can
come up this.
advocate. I think you can advocate for like you can think that something's better, even if maybe it's not something that would maybe favor you, or if you're not a part of it.
So you think
Yeah,
that's
So,
what was happening?
so
Like
I think
rooting
if
for
his
the
opinion
underdog.
is that average guys are better mates, I mean, we got to hear the reasons why. But that doesn't mean that even if he himself is not average, that doesn't mean that he's not a good mate. Which I would say sounds like that would be like the argument. Like, well, why are you saying they would make better mates? Wouldn't you argue for people in your position? But I don't know.
Right. But the thing is, I want to hear the advocacy. Like I'm interested in hearing the advocacy coming from him. So that's why, like, it'd have been great to have him up here to hear his input on why the nice guys should be like
Are we talking about
what's
average guys or nice guys?
average guys,
Well,
nice
average guys
guys.
are nice.
Nice guys are full of shit. And I think I
They
said
really
this the
are.
other night.
They are.
Nice
They
guys are full
are.
of shit. Now, good men, if you're talking about good
Mm.
men,
I was
good
hoping for a
men.
better explanation by the gentlemen who constantly say that, for instance, the Pookies and the Ray Rays aren't a better option. I was hoping for a number of the gentlemen who keep saying that. Then why is that the case? Can you explain that? Can you thoroughly explain why the contrast is the better option? And I have not heard anything yet tonight.
Yeah, because
Really?
that's a big ask. I mean, like,
I was
Big
in a big
ass.
ask
Pretty
because
easy to answer.
I was in a big ask because I constantly keep hearing so many of you fucking complaining. So now you have the opportunity, you have the floor, sit down and explain to us why is this the better option?
all right, I'm just saying it's a big ask. And especially when, like, people,
You got some Vivaldi over there.
no, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. I'm sorry.
Is that the queen? Are you channeling the queen over there?
I'm playing. Look, I can play out. I'm like, okay. I'm listening.
That's my favorite. Oh man.
I love Jen. I love Jen. Jen, yo, I'll do this whole crazy shit, right?
I love
Okay?
that, man.
Okay, listen. Okay, listen. Spro, you did have a point. Maybe he was just advocating, but I'm with Haran. Like, we hear a lot. We hear women, okay, get dragged because they always pick the Pookie and the Ray Ray over the nice guy or the good guy or the guy that's better suited. So I was wondering if we were going to have any advocates. Where are those nice guys? Where are the guys that are saying she should pick me because?
That's where the
heard a
problem comes
reason.
in. That's where
I
the
haven't
problem
heard a
comes in.
reason.
That's really no.
Okay,
for
yeah,
real.
you help us out. Help
Wait a
us
sec,
out, Spro, because
what do you mean?
help us out, Spro, because you come from the manosphere, the red pill. You've heard the talking points. Maybe you've
Yeah.
heard more than what we've heard.
Well, not only that, but like I've felt that way. I think like for
Okay.
some people, like for a lot of people, honestly, and we see this is a human thing. This is men and women. We will always be like, oh, well, why can't I? Why do they get what like I feel like I should have? Like, well, I do this, I do that, and that person, you feel like someone has something that you're owed. Now, I'm not saying that all the guys that are saying like, because I feel like we've all heard it before. I feel like every boy, like when they were young, like at some point felt like, oh man, like that guy's taller, like that guy's faster. Maybe not, like, but maybe just a little bit at some point. And I'm talking like young bulls, teenagers. I feel like everyone's maybe felt that way a little bit at some point. And for some, yeah, some people go on and have better luck than other people. That's just life. And I think when we see like, we've all heard like, oh, like the bad boy, thing, and girls like that, and there may be some truth to that. I think it's not that they're bad people. That's not what the women are attracted to. usually people that are put into that category. And we could say, like, for the sake of argument, let's just put Pookie, Ray Ray, the bad boy, the Chads, like, let's just put them all in like that same category. The guys that the women pick that these guys are complaining they shouldn't. Those guys usually exhibit confidence. You know, they're usually stronger, more dominant leaders, or at least they give the perception of it. Because I think, especially in the Black community, what we see is the young women, in a lot of cases, from my observation, maybe get those good qualities misconstrued because of their environment and, you know, what is, I guess, the standard between men and women. So, like, if you grew up in like the inner city, it'll be like, oh, like she's always dating drug dealers, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, dude, those are the only guys in the neighborhood that are making money and, like, you know, that seem in charge. So again, it doesn't mean that it's good, and it doesn't mean that those guys are good people. It also doesn't mean that they're necessarily bad men. I know plenty of good men who have done, you know, wrong things, and they may seem like the bad boy, but like they're good dudes. They're not like the bad boy that you think. They're not like fucking James Dean, you know, like trying to kidnap her and join a gang. Like it's not like that. And like those guys feel like, oh, well, I don't do those wrong things. Like this guy, you know, yeah, like let's say the drug dealer, like, oh, he runs a risk of getting arrested. Or something else that we hear a lot, girls getting cheated on. And then another red pill talking point is, oh, well, they're getting cheated on because all the girls are sleeping with the same guys.
Land.
The what?
Land.
James Oko says you are wrong, sir. James Oko says you are wrong, sir. I actually haven't heard something
for the wrong part.
Right. I haven't heard anything so right about that specific situation because it's men. They oh, you want the Pookies, they're the bad guys, the bad boys. It's not that. Is what those men fucking represent. Like Sproge said, these are the guys that are the providers in the neighborhood, even though they're doing it illegally.
Okay, wait 1 second. Y'all playing around.
Y'all making bad choices.
Yo, wait 1 second. Y'all playing around now. Okay, we done got to this point right now. You have your opportunity to shine. Y'all playing around with this. James over here says because they make better fathers. Okay, James, are you saying that women aren't good at picking good fathers, just good dick, just a pair of good shoulders? You know what I mean? They're not, you know what I mean? They're not, you know what I mean? I don't know, psychologically or chemically built to go for the first guy who would make a great father, just the guy who's a good lay. Is that what you're saying, James? Because
no,
I really want to understand this.
No, I think he's answering the question because I was asking, tell us why the average at best guy should be picked. Like that guy that's not the bad boy, why should he be picked? And I think he's responding to that saying because they make better fathers. The average at best guys, the nice guys,
Why?
the guys that are...
That's not always the case, though.
Why do they make better fathers?
Well, I dropped a link so he can come up. But I don't know. I guess he wants to.
And the other thing is that's assuming, and we keep going back to that, you're assuming that every person with a vagina wants to have a fucking child and get married. Like, stop assuming that.
What?
Well, I think he's...
What's he talking about?
Easy.
I think... no, Jesus.
What
I think...
No reason to raise your voice.
Hold on, Simon. I think we're also overlooking that every guy who's not confrontational doesn't mean he's a nice guy, doesn't mean he's going to be a good father, doesn't mean that. I don't know why automatically.
Well, also, like if I could add those guys that, yes, they might make good fathers, right? But what I think that means is that they're good facilitators of a family, right? Or they could be good facilitators of a family, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they are good leaders, right? Because you need to have a leader mindset. You can set something up, right? You can have the things that could require to set up things called a family, called a home, and all that stuff. But that doesn't necessarily mean you know how to run it, right? Which requires a certain kind of mindset.
Yeah, I know a guy.
A thing about the bad boy thing, what I would like to add to that is that a really clear separating point is that usually these quote unquote, well, like what you were saying, I'm sorry, I haven't met you before. Spro. All right, Justin. Yeah. So yeah, somebody's got to play back and anyways, but yeah, so it's Spro, you were saying that like the bad boy Chads, they're all living in the same house or whatever. It's they don't give a shit what people think. That's a huge marker. They
Mm.
don't care about anything. What their mind is only in their mind. What they want to do, what their objective is, and what they're going to get out of it. Like that's
they're not worried about getting with women, which is something else that I mentioned the other
What
night.
are you talking about?
Where it's like,
What are you
like
talking-
if you're only worried about getting with women, it's gonna mess up your whole thing. And for a lot of like the guys, and it's not so much the content creators, it's the people in the chat. Those are the people that we should be concerned about, that need to be spoken to. The people in the chat, they're not like it doesn't matter to them. Like it's but
let me acknowledge the super chat real quick. Thank you for the super chat, Louis Kanye, supporting On the Block with Jen. Louis says, at the end of the day, people are attracted to raw, animalistic, sexual attraction. If you don't possess that, shut up and pay. James Oko says, thank you for the super chat, James. Feel free to come up and rebut. James says, if you don't know who your dad is, stay out of this convo. Damn, James.
Damn. Who's that referred
Nancy.
to?
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, Nancy.
That's very left field.
Good thing for us, huh?
Right, I was about to say that absolves us. I think that absolves everybody up here.
James, spicy.
Nasty.
New Diamond says most are not. My mother didn't. I think she was responding to the question, the statement that I had. The question that I was asking, were women are mostly not good at picking good fathers, just good dick.
Okay.
I think she was responding to that.
You know what's interesting? Everyone actually has made like a pretty, I would say, reasonable point so far. Even you, Simon. And what's interesting is
you
figured it out.
Let me
my name, man.
The basis of what we're talking about are average at best better mates. You know what I realized? It varies. You can't really. There is no ultimate. There are pros and cons to everything. Like, first off, what is defined? We got to define average. Then we got to define what is above average.
Right. That's what
comes with being above average. What comes with being average? And to be quite honest, it depends on the individual, which is why I was saying earlier, because the guys that are complaining about they think average means that the good men, the nice guy. And remember, nice is evil. If you're claiming to be a nice guy, and ladies, when you hear nice guy, run. Now, good men, good guys, that's a different story. Good guys can be average. They can be above average. And let's keep it a buck. When we're talking about average, we're talking about the bread. Is it just me? Like, we're talking about the bread, right? Or like what?
We're talking about We're talking about
it was never defined. That's what I asked. I said average according to what metric?
Then we can't even.
Question. I have a big
question.
Can
or can't. That's the answer.
I have a big question. Are these gentlemen angry at these women for their choices, or are they angry at her because she's not choosing them?
When I think average, I'm sorry, even before the money, I could very easily say Tracy Morgan, Michael B. Jordan. Tracy Morgan, Michael B. Jordan. And that's before I know their bank accounts. Tracy Morgan is the average at best. He is the average at best. Don't you
think there are women out there who would love to just tear his clothes off?
Tracy Morgan?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You're widening yourself. You're only thinking from your own perspective.
They'd have to. No. Let's hold on. Let's not be intellectually dishonest.
I'm not.
Someone may not be my type. Okay. Someone may not be my type at all. But if they walk in a room, the majority of the women are going to say he's attractive. Okay. Tracy Morgan, in order for a woman to find him attractive and want to tear his clothes off, she would have to have a fetish for short, pudgy, pot belly, bug-eyed men. It'd have to be a specific.
Right. I'm not saying appealing to the masses. I'm saying my question is, don't you think there's someone out there or someone
but there could be
to tear his clothes off?
Right, but that doesn't make him not average. Just because there's a woman out there with a pot belly fetish doesn't erase him from being average. I'm just trying to, because we keep talking about
metric looks. Is that what you mean? Like
metric? It includes money as well. Right. But I'm saying before we even know what the man is making, we're just looking at him. So
Aesthetically.
Right.
let's just start there because we got eyes, and that's the only thing we could do before we get to know someone's voice, personality, wallet. We're looking
True.
at them. So if we're just doing looks, I would say the metric is Tracy Morgan, Michael B. Jordan. We know one of those guys is average at best, and it's not Michael B. Jordan. And then we get into
on that metric. Yeah, there's just a lot of
voice.
metrics. So to the question, are average at best? It's like average at best according to what metric? Is it looks?
Ron,
is
you
it money?
stupid.
Is it what?
Well,
what is it?
that's the point I'm making. That's the point I want to make. Is
We could
that
say all of the above, like just a catch
I
in
was about to
general.
say it's
Okay,
a, it's
listen,
a catch. It's just,
listen,
so you gotta. It's a
Here's the
spectrum of
metric. Here's the metric. And we'll use Michael B. Jordan and we'll use Tracy Morgan. 9 times or 8 times out of 10, let's just say just physically. And if we were going to the gym and we were working guys, you know what I mean, you were working out. Most guys are built like fucking Tracy Morgan. Okay? Most guys are starting from that point. You know what I mean? Guys who have a particular who are gifted genetically and so on and so forth or whatever, they're closer to Michael B. Jordan. They, you know what I mean, they probably don't have to do as much, you know what I mean, to gain that particular, you know, body because they're almost there. They maybe just need to tighten things up. However, that guy, you know what I mean, he's closer and so on and so forth. If both of those people walked into the room 9 times out of 10, yeah, chicks are going to be like, who's that motherfucker over there who's almost built like Mr. Universe? It happens. Now, if Tracy Morgan was with his average his best stats was worth $100 million, then the conversation kind of becomes a different kind of thing because it's like, okay, he's rich. You know what I mean? Michael B. Jordan, you know what I mean? The guy who looks like Michael B. Jordan isn't. It's not saying that they wouldn't necessarily fuck with the guy who looks like Michael B. Jordan. It's just that, okay, there's an added incentive now to fuck with the average, you know what I mean, looking dude. That's basically what's being
Or
said.
to Jen's
Well, okay,
Jen's
but
point
but
before.
but
Go
but
ahead,
I
Liv.
don't want to stop there because people are getting confused and they're thinking that that's the only thing. There's other parts of that metrics. You got the physical part, then you got the communication part, right? Then you got the money part. Then you got like so. There's a lot of different parts to it, right? But yes, you're going to start at the physical, right? But then after that, it's like, okay, what else are you dealing with? Can he talk? Do you got some coins? Or it's gonna be begging me for money? You know, like there's so many different things. So he could be average in one area and exceed in another area. No one has it all.
So
Right.
are the average and best men better
but
mates?
damn.
The answer
So what's
is
the
no.
so what's the Pookie? So what's the Pookie?
The answer is
So,
no.
so,
I have it all. Like,
so wait a minute.
damn.
So wait a minute. I just have to ask a
Problem.
question. If there's so many
Real
variables
problem.
attached, if there's so many variables attached to the average and best men, then how come we don't get all these metrics and so on and so forth and all these requirements when we're talking about Pookies and Ray Rays? Are there other metrics, you know what I mean, attached to that? Or are we just saying that we know what a Pookie and a Ray Ray is? What is that? What is a Pookie
and a Ray Ray are
They're archetypes.
I would say a bum. I mean, they are kind
A
of like
homosexual with
caricatures,
good dick, probably.
but like they're like the homeless guys, the cheaters, I got 4 baby moms, like that guy.
And why would women want that guy?
I've always thought that the Pookie Ray Ray was in a house with
Okay,
Chad
one of the reasons. Can someone
one of the
explain this?
reasons, sadly, I'm sorry, chat, good dick. That's one of the reasons.
That's what
I was about to say.
I just said that. I said a homosexual with good dick.
Yeah,
No.
there you go.
Let's watch our mics. Let's watch our mics because I can't clip this. We're gonna sound like a bunch of fucking cackling hens. Just one mic. I do want to say that the metric thing, I only have 3. I know we're putting are his nails long? Does his breath stink? Does he have a? I just got the 3. Aesthetically, what do you look like? What's the dick game like? And what's your wallet like? I just got the 3. That's it. That's it. I don't. Just the 3.
But that's what I'm saying. People keep getting stuck on one and not thinking that there's something else besides
I don't know about,
one.
I mean, other women probably have 10. Other women probably have 9. Other women probably have 1. I just got the 3. That's how I would measure it. What do you and that has nothing to do with height. But I'm like, aesthetically, what do you look like?
Yo, come
what's the
on.
dick game like? And what's the wallet like?
Come over here.
So wait 1 second. So we got pimps and players. We got so on and so forth. Those are Pookies and Ray Rays. So are we saying that the Pookies and the Ray Rays are better with women than the average male? Are we
No.
saying that?
No.
I think that's a great question. That's a great question. I think that's a great question. I think that the Pookies and Ray Rays have more qualities that appeal to a woman's nature. That's what I think. I don't think that those men are better with women. I think they have more characteristics that appeal, which is the confidence, which is I don't care what you think, which is I'm living in my world. Whether I have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, I'm a fucking full-blown man. Take it or leave it. I've been doing push-ups in prison for 3 years. What you gonna do about it? I think so.
So they have game.
They don't even have to have
Justin's.
game. They don't even have to have game. They don't have to have game. All they listen. I'm from the South Bronx, New York. They don't have to have game. They have to get off the 4 train with that brown paper bag and a white wife beater, walking with their jeans hanging off, and I'm back on the
Hold
block,
over their
baby.
head.
What's up? I'm back on the block. And he's gonna look better, and he's gonna look better than the guy that's getting off the train next to him coming from the 9 to 5. Women, we're all animals. I don't know why we keep ignoring that. He's gonna look better with his brown paper bag, his dirty Air Force Ones, with the tight shit tatted. Well, I just came home. Yo, what's up? Where Danny at? Oh shit, guess who just came home? We've had those conversations.
Look,
We've had
listen.
those conversations.
I'm gonna give you guys a scenario right quick. Okay, look, brothers. Like, listen. Let me just talk real with you here. Okay, look, listen. Let's say if you're the average or best guy, you're the nerdy guy. You know what I mean? You see a girl. You see the girl that you want. You're gonna tell yourself like, okay, Friday, I'm gonna talk to her. I'm gonna, you know what I mean? You wrote this shit down. You're listening to a whole bunch of Andrew Tate shit. You know what I mean? You build your confidence up. You know what I mean? You see her, you know what I mean, the library, whatever the fuck it is, and you say, look at this. Oh, shit. And you check your cell phone, you look at your face and shit like that, you wipe the shit out your eye, and you're about to do it, your heart is pounding, you're about to approach her, and guess what happens? You see a motherfucker with the wife beater and the, you know what I mean, crumpled up paper bag, and you say, hey, sweetheart, what's going on? What's good? How you been? You know what I mean? I'm looking for XYZ. Can you help me out, sweetheart, where I'm going? How about that? Yo, I love that bag that you wearing. You know what I mean? Where did you get that from? Blah, blah, blah. And then you know what? You realize, you find out your whole opportunity has been stolen by a man with the confidence, the appeal, the straight back, the mindset that, hey, who's that? She's coming home with me. Hey, you, get in the car. That's it.
And here's the kicker. Where do those guys always end up straight out of prison without a pot to piss in the window, throw it out of it? Where do they go? They lay up in a woman's house. Okay, his name is not on the lease, but he looks good. He's fresh out. He ain't hit nothing in a while. That dude is the 4th of July when he walks through the door. He's the 4th of July. Get to the gym.
Right.
Get to
I
the
swear
gym.
when down in Atlanta, a place called Garnett. Yes, Garnett, right by the Greyhound. That's where they let all the inmates off at. Them women be out there waiting for their ass to get off that damn bus. They be out there
You
waiting.
know what I notice about a lot of these guys, and I'm gonna say this to you, a lot of you. You do a lot of things. You do 2 things that you shouldn't really be doing much as men. You ask for shit too much, and you apologize way too much. Just take it. Just take the opportunity.
Ooh,
If you see something, go after it. If you see something, go fucking after it, unapologetically. You're always asking. You're always, oh, I'm sorry, and you so many of you you seem to apologize.
That goes exactly what I was saying.
Thinking about what apologize for existing.
Why do you think that? Why do you think men do that?
Men do what?
What you just said.
That they ask and they apologize because they have no self-confidence.
Okay.
They're not sitting in their masculinity. Men take things.
They're afraid.
We're standing on American soil right now because a group of men had the balls to take some shit. That's it. Period.
They're afraid. They're afraid of women.
Absolutely.
They're afraid of pussy. They're afraid of rejection. They're afraid of themselves. They're full of fear, rife with fear, and they actually hate themselves, right?
Yes,
and that's why they're looking for so wholeheartedly for acceptance from a woman or women in general, right? That's why in a lot of these spaces, they're not focused on any one woman because, despite all these red pillars having extreme knowledge on female nature, so to speak, they're all definitely single, right? If they knew so much, where are the women at, right? So really,
Can't
they
you?
have so
Wait,
much. They have so much.
Well, they're either
knowledge of this
single or they're
desire.
married and pushing.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's another one. Yeah,
not
that's another
marriage.
one.
Yeah.
Right. So the guys who are like this, they're really seeking out that acceptance and validation from women in general, right? Because they're out there talking to women en masse, making videos in the chat, saying women, women, women in this in general sense, not actually to a single woman that's actually in front of them, because they're afraid to approach that because, oh my gosh, what if she says no? And chances are she probably will.
Yo, I love what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Because that's actual factual. But I wanted to understand something. Are you married?
Am I married? No. Do you have a
And
point?
silence
Okay,
went
yeah,
and I'm
you're-
like,
you're
okay.
point.
What the hell is was that like a dramatic silence, or you just
He
gathered your
turned up
thoughts?
his nose like an aunt your mama auntie, like.
And
There's only one
there
person
a-
up here that's married, okay, and it's the baby right
Bro.
down there in the middle. What do you think about what James Oko said? He said our community has a love affair with players. Does our community have a love affair with players?
Of course.
I mean, yeah.
Well, it's not just our community because
Yeah, I'm about to say
The
Becky,
world
Becky
does.
come
I
after.
mean,
I'm about to say Becky come
who's
after
James
us too.
Bond? Look at James Bond.
Right.
James Bond ain't nothing but a player with a license to kill, baby. Let's call it what it is.
True.
James Dean.
Jen,
all of
did
his
you miss it? Jen, you missed another super chat by Louis.
I'm so sorry. So sorry.
I should have kept up with it. I missed it too.
I know, yeah. I'm so sorry.
a love affair
Um,
with players. When he
a
says
love affair
our
with
community,
players.
is he talking about the POC? I mean, I
Well,
figured.
check this out.
That
Well,
POC.
check this out. Remember, I was mentioning the romance
POC.
novels, right? That's all what romance novels are starring, right? The men
Yep.
who are in these novels, who are they? They're
Players.
those guys.
Drifters.
Like what do you want to call them? Drifters, players, Max, like whatever you want to call them. It's that guy.
Christian Grey.
In every single story, and they take on different forms. Sometimes it's Christian Grey-ish, sometimes it's some pilot, sometimes it's the gardener, sometimes it's some adventurer, whatever it is, but it's always that guy that you kind of get but you don't get, and you're like, oh my god, I need to have him, but he needs to go away for whatever reason, you know.
Well,
Wait, he has to go away for some reason, almost as if a long-term thing with him can't be sustained.
Right.
oh my god.
Yes. Because he has to go off to war, or he has to
What's
go
going on?
Right. But he's a risk. But all these guys, guess what? They're risk takers.
Yep.
They're always adventurous. They're always funny.
They're
You know what I mean?
unattainable. You can't keep 'em.
Exactly.
And to your point, right? But you said before, he's not there for the woman. He's there
Right,
for something completely different. Like I said before, the game has nothing to do with women whatsoever.
Oh, I like those movies. I know what you're talking about, Justin. I know what you're talking about. It's like where his mission is just so much bigger.
Oh wait,
and,
yeah, like
and the love. And
yes, and look the black and white movies with Humphrey Bogart and like all
Yeah.
that stuff, right? Where he's like, I'm sorry, Dame, I got to go on this airplane, and and she's like, ah.
So long, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Listen, at the end of the day, this is to all my geeks, you know what I mean? Especially my comic book geeks. Don't be Reed Richards. Don't be Victor Von Doom. Be Tony Stark. Okay? A brilliant guy who can still, bag all the women, the guy who still, has a degree of danger around her. Women want Bruce Wayne.
Dude, I don't know. Doom's got it, man. He focused on the world domination. He didn't even have a single woman on
He
his
doesn't
arm.
have time for.
No.
I like
relationship.
Bane. What's wrong with Bane?
Well, Bane, no, I didn't say anything about Bane.
No, Doom.
He just
Victor
needs
Von
a little
said Doom.
hug.
No, I didn't say anything
Wait.
about Bane.
Wait, you remember the first Spider-Man movie? right? Whole movie, he wants the girl, right? He's all focused on the girl. End of the movie, she's like, "Oh, I love you, Peter," and he's like, sorry. And then the whole second movie, like, she's just like, "Oh, I want you, I want you, I want you." He's like,
Because he had a purpose. He got a purpose.
Yeah,
He's
what they say
he's
is
Spider-Man.
the chase is better than the catch.
Ooh.
Women like to
Let me.
chase. Did you
Thank
say
you.
Right.
Let me mute this guy because I'll never get through this.
Simon,
Thank
do you have
thank you
anything
for
to
the.
offer?
Thank you for the super chat, Louis Kanye. Louis Kanye says Biggie Smalls can get all the pee. Christopher Wallace cannot.
Is that true,
Oh, hold on.
ladies?
Are you sure?
Well, Biggie's is dead, so.
I mean,
Well, no,
Jen,
I
is
mean, I
that
get the
true?
analogy that he's making.
Right. Yeah, I get it. I'm just being too literal.
Yeah, but the okay.
Ooh,
Oh, coming for you, Spro.
But hold on, no. Before he because he still has an
who is
answer
the
with
first
that.
line of defense for?
But he
me?
still has an answer with that meant in the first place. Like, did he even ever answer what we're supposed to be protected from? Like, what's this protection from?
I didn't
Because
see
we
it.
keep the chat
The
is asked him and
patriarchy.
everyone. Oh, okay, that'll work.
No, I really,
Cis white
James.
male oppression.
Look, listen, James. James. I know you're listening. I know you can hear me. I know you can see me. You've been throwing that around for a little while. Protect it from what? That way we know how to answer. Protect it from what? We don't know what you mean.
Voldemort.
Don't say his name.
Oh, right.
You know,
right.
a lot of you guys, you do what religious people do, particularly Christians. You spit out these fucking talking points, and you have absolutely no fucking clue what you're talking about because you never really asked yourself what the hell that means. Like,
Right.
for instance, when people say, like, well, you know, God works in mysterious ways. Like, what do you mean? What does that mean? Well, no, he just works in mysterious ways.
Mysterious
question
how?
God.
I don't know. It's mysterious.
Exactly. Is there a metric? I don't know.
It's just
I'm like,
mysterious.
I'm a
Like
man.
things like that, you should be able to you should be able to explain. Like when you just said like God works in mysterious ways, like I was like, oh, it sounds like things that I'm not always going to be able to understand. But you're right. People respond like, mysterious ways, and it's like, dude, it's pretty easy to explain what you're saying, whether or not someone's going to agree with you or not, or whether or not you're right or wrong or not. These are pretty, again, are average at best men better mates? No. Why? It's not that they won't. It's not that an average guy won't be a better mate. It's just that based off of so many effing definitions of what that is and what it isn't and what it is, that doesn't determine what can be a good mate, because it makes up so many qualities, whether you're average or if you're above average. The things that make a good mate, you could have the right combination from either category from both batches, and I would say turn out fine. The only people that we've been talking about what women would see as average, but who's the people that are complaining about it? The guys. So gentlemen who complain about this and bitch and moan, what is a above average person and what is an average person? I'm telling you, they're all going to say I'm an average person, like the guy like me, or they'll say I'm not average because they're insecure and they don't want to admit it, and they'll say, oh, but the people that are average should, because that's actually them.
I'm fighting for them, not me.
Yeah, which you could still do, like Simon earlier, he said oh, I'm not necessarily average, but I think I would say I'm average. I'm a regular guy, right? But if I wasn't a regular guy, because I'm just a regular Joe, I go to work, come home, play with my kid, yell at the dog for not voting, stuff like that. I have simple taste, I would say that I'm regular degular. Like I family man, I go to work, I spend time with friends, I have hobbies. Like that's what I would say is regular. If I wasn't regular, I would maybe be doing something a little more, like maybe I'm moving around a little more, not like just in one city. Like because as we just said, there's multiple things that can make you above average or not. Now, what I think is weird is, again, the average thing. It's like, why is that necessarily bad? Because it is said in a negative connotation. No one here has said that being average is bad. No one here necessarily glorified being above average either, because that, I would assume, comes with a whole lot of responsibility depending on what metric makes you above average. But it's the who the guys who are complaining about it, they're the people who it's like, what do you define as average? And it's always going to be what they don't have versus the guy, the girl, the guy that the girls that they want picked over them. So they don't make better meats.
So what a lot of these guys are doing is listening to what women say they desire, right? Which is actually much different than needs, but we won't get into that. They listen to desire and they use that as their measuring stick of what women are saying.
And that's where the red pill
want.
rage comes from.
Well, it's a huge point of weakness because you're using what a woman says that she wants as your own measuring stick for yourself, right? When a man should be using himself as his own measuring stick. That's what the dudes who are desirable do, right?
Which is crazy because if you do that, you won't have to worry about, again, if you build it, they will come.
Right.
You won't have to worry about
it. But then there's this other thing about averages, right? So I'd say like Mark Cuban, amongst his friends, they're all average amongst each other. Do you see what I'm saying?
No, that makes it's like who are you around?
They're all millionaires.
They're all regular.
They're like amongst them, average? They're regular millionaires. You know what I'm saying? But it's only by comparison that things are average or not average.
It's relative.
Right, exactly.
I think I'm above average.
Right. Based on what? Are you comparing yourself to bums on the streets? Right.
No, just people who I talk to who I also think are awesome. Like my friends and family, they're awesome. But I'm like, oh, I think I have a few like creds. But either way, that's okay. Stay humble.
Who knows? Right.
I mean, I think you're a young man
on this channel. We don't do humble on this channel.
I think you are a young man with above average intelligence. I think you are an above average young man.
I
you know what I mean?
it.
I think I speak for a number of us on the panel. So I don't think you're average based on what I see as average. Average just left a minute ago.
Well then, get this. Then I'll be the guy
I couldn't help it.
advocating for the average man. I think the average man, why not give the average man a shot if he's a good man? But get this, the above average guy can also be a good man, and both can also be shitty men. So again, the answer to the question, they don't make better mates because you can't determine on whether someone's gonna be a better man based on if they're average, and that goes by whatever definition of average you have. It doesn't matter.
Because to Jen's 3, he could have great looks and you like him, right? He could know how to fuck and he could have decent income. But there's other factors in there that could fuck it all up. Big time.
Bad credit.
No. Part of his personality, his character, how he feels about himself, how he talks to himself, how he talks to you. If the sex is actually like what we were talking about before, where it's just off or it's on, right? That's a huge thing. Right? There's so many different things in there that can skew your big 3 that they could be all on point, but could be completely washed down the drain.
It's not enough at the end of the day, which just honestly, it shows that the guys that complain about that think that women are honestly think like rationalize like children and like they're just vapid and just like on default mode all the time because like, yeah, we all even admit it. Like Jenny even said like, hey, when that guy comes home, we be on it. But she didn't say that that's necessarily a good thing. And she also didn't say that would necessarily last because I get you 3, hell, maybe even 6 months in, she going to walk in and see that nigga on the couch playing 2K and be like, what are you here for? And she's going to learn and get this. She may get another 2 more of those guys, but eventually she will learn. Now, get this. If it takes her long to learn that, she'll have to deal with the consequences. Like if she gets older, and then she's like, oh, I want to get married and settle down. She's probably going to have a harder time doing that. Like, I mean, if she's a catch or whatever, she can find someone, but like she will have to think about that. But get this, that's not for us to worry about because guys make dumb decisions too. And I think for a lot of the guys, like with the red pill stuff that say stuff like this, it always goes back to, oh, well, the women did this. Look, they took a L, but I don't have to. And da-da-da. And yeah, things are different for men and women, but like guys take a lot of L's too. Like a lot of L's. Like when
I think, and I agree with what you're saying. Let me acknowledge the super chat. Thank you for the super chat, Adam Hearn. Adam Hearn says, shout out to my bruv, Simon, top bloke from Nottingham Forest. Haran, don't play him or you will catch an arrow from across the pond.
An arrow to the knee.
Right, they don't have guns over there. So.
Red pill.
Right.
Red Pill Sleeper Cell. Red Pill Sleeper Cell. Thank you for the super chat. Red Pill Sleeper Cell says, please tell him to shut up. I don't know who's him, darling. You got to name a name. Throw another
Could
super
be
chat in
me.
there with his name.
Exactly. Could it be me? I don't know.
The youngin.
I wanted to say to what Spro is saying that, yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, there's L's on both sides and plenty of L's on both sides, because when you look at what's the statistics now, men are not fucking. They're not in relationships. So they're taking L's over there where it's like, yeah, maybe the woman may not get the guy she wants, but she got a guy in her bed. Okay. And they're breaking bread together while the guy that's online angry is dry. His phone is dry. His dick is dry. He's dry. So there's L's on both sides. I just don't understand why these guys are constantly saying that they're the ones. I get confused. I'm like, okay, you're making fun of women picking the Pookies and the Ray Rays, but are you saying that because you're the catch? And if you're the catch, I was just trying to understand what makes you the catch. Since the duds are Pookie and Ray Ray, what makes you the catch then, sir? Or are you just talking
do the
to
things
talk?
that the reason why they complain about the Pookies and the Ray Rays is because a lot of young women will complain about certain things that men do. And a lot of the things that women complain about can be attributed to maybe things that the Pookie and Ray Rays do a lot that the guys who are saying they're not that don't do. And they're under the impression that like, oh, well, I don't do that. So like, why are you constantly complaining about guys that do this thing and you're picking them over and over? I don't do that, so why don't you pick me? Now, again, that's cool. You can feel that way, but it doesn't. What the reason why they stay in that loop, and instead of maybe just like taking that information and applying it and just going about their business and worrying about themselves, is because it's easier, because that little bit like that is a receipt. It is a receipt. Like if I've had a lot of female friends. One of my best friends was actually my aunt, because like we're close in age. So like I've heard, girls talk and stuff, and I've heard it a lot, especially when they're younger. Oh, they complain about this guy. They break up with him next week. They're back with him. And like, it does sound stupid. So when you, even that, like that is a receipt. Those guys, because they even have a little bit of smidgen of proof or something to back up their claim, it's easier to stay there because it validates the success that they're not having. It's not that it's like, okay, you're not having success, you're being rejected, that's all cool. It can be for whatever reason. Yeah, maybe she did pick a guy that was worse off and maybe you were better, but just apply the information. Like, again, and you can, if someone did one post talking about like, oh, I think women do this, blah blah blah, and went about their day, that'd be one thing. It's post after 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 post. And it's easier to do that and just say, again, because you have that little bit of proof. Oh, and it validates staying in that same spot, and it's easier to complain about it and shift the blame, be like, oh, it's because of this, instead of maybe actually getting up and doing something to solve the problem.
But doesn't it show a level of just bitterness and disdain and rejection when these guys are constantly talking about women that are none of their business, have nothing to do with them? Some of these guys are married, some of these guys have girlfriends, and they are obsessed with how women are failing or passing somewhere else. Like I can't imagine being in a relationship. I can't imagine being in a relationship and then, go online in the chats like, see, that's what men get. I can't, it's weird.
It goes without saying, and for a lot of people, their internet life is completely separate and different from like their day-to-day walking about. So like that's probably like, because there are guys that are married and so like I'm married, and I already said before last time, like the red pill, there are stuff like, it's like, yeah, I do see that. The problem is the prescriptions that are given and the generalization of people in groups. That's where it falls into error. And then also the contradictions of the people that spout this shit. Because they'll say one thing and then they're doing another.
But it makes me think, if you are married or in a relationship and then this is what you're doing all day long, then you're not happy with the woman that's laying in your bed.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because ain't no way I'm going to be in a relationship and listen to crazy people all day.
Right. So they can be trapped in a situation and have that red pill rage, but they're trapped in a relationship and they don't have the balls to take hold and lead their relationship, right? Because they're still scared of women, scared of rejection, scared of making her mad, right? And so they let themselves just kind of like hide in this little corner where they can jump on the internet and reveal their real feelings and thoughts and get all this, rah-rah support from other guys who are, relatively just like them.
That's a good one.
James Oko
hasn't gotten over it yet.
James Oko is living vicariously through you right now. Can you feel it, Spro? Can you feel it?
Back you down now, bro.
Can you
I don't
feel
get
it?
what you're saying. Maybe you're
I
super
don't
chat for
either.
coming in late. I don't get
He's
the
trying to
context.
say he's trying to say because he likes what you're saying now because you're talking about the receipts and women, the Pookies and the Ray Rays. So now he's cheering for you. He's living vicariously through what you're saying. He thinks that we're going to contradict or whatever.
No,
And we agree
that's cool. You
100%.
can agree with a point. You can agree with a point, and just because the red pill guys maybe have some points, or you can understand their justification. The problem with it is the it's like, yo, there are feelings that need to be worked out. It's the bitterness and the hate and the like. What is your goal? Again, if someone's genuine goal was to give young men dating advice and maybe tell them like, hey, in a lot of scenarios nowadays, this is what you're going to see, that'd be one thing. And there are manosphere things or RP stuff that kind of does that isn't all negative. Something that I would say is I haven't watched their stuff in a while, but back in the day, I used to love the Roommates. Great content. Two young men, great stuff. They talked about women and dating and stuff. They would bring women on their joint, but they wouldn't bring on idiots. They would bring on, get this, some of the girls they brought on were a little, they were bimbos, but the other ones were really intelligent. And they would have talks about intersexual dynamics, and they would tell the women like, oh, experiences that they've had. They would help out guys, and a lot of it was about, honestly, not even worrying about women. A lot of it was like, hey, stop worrying about women and focus on this stuff and that stuff and that stuff. But they did do the dating stuff because that gets the views, and that's what people want to know. But it was never like, oh, women are this and women are that, and you need to, if anything, it was like, yo,
That's
you're
crazy.
a bum and you need to buck up.
That's crazy.
James,
Here's James. You're on the tail end. You're on the tail end. So you better.
James, I just want to say one thing real quick.
In the
I just want
stairwell
You
to
better
say
get
one
to
thing.
it, James. You better
I
get
just
to
want
it, James.
I just want to say something real quick to James. James, this is one of the reasons why it's best to open your mind and understand that life is not binary. A lot of the spaces that you immerse yourself in, it's very binary and very dogmatic. Understand that you can agree with someone momentarily and still disagree with them fundamentally. You know what I mean? But it does not mean the fact that you might have agreed with them means that you're abandoning your fundamental beliefs or your fundamental ideas. It just means in that particular moment you could agree with that person.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Can you hear me? Y'all can hear me.
We
Right?
can
My
hear
Yeah,
you
we can hear
fine.
you.
Okay. Hey, Jen.
That
How are
camera
you,
getting
bro?
lower and lower, James. Now we told you yesterday the
Can't be
higher
in your
angles
pants
is
next
what
time.
works best for. We said, James, you look better the higher the angle. You drop it 10 feet lower.
You know what? I like this angle because it's a position of authority.
I don't
We
feel
gonna
authorized.
we gonna
I
see
feel
his
more
feet.
annoyed.
We gonna see his feet one time. We gonna
Hey,
see
hey,
Right.
listen.
we gonna see his feet.
Hey, look. My phone is gonna die though, so
All right.
I
Put
just
it
wanted
on
to
a
say
charger.
New Diamond is.
Well, anyway, what I
Go
wanted
ahead.
to say was, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Can I not? Am I
Go
missing
ahead,
something
brother.
right now?
Go ahead. Take a
Brother.
deep breath. Take a deep breath and let us have it, James.
Okay, basically, what I wanted to say is this, right? People always say, "Oh, why are you worried about what the Pookies are doing, and why are you worried about that?" Dude, it's destroying our community. Like, can we cut the bullshit? like 80% of kids aren't born out of wedlock, and like the leaders you want, like they're not gonna need to be raised by fathers. Like, can we cut out like, oh, why are you worried about what these men are doing that are impregnating women and leaving them like? You know why I'm worried about it? No,
James.
wait.
Let him finish. Let him finish, please.
You know why I'm worried about it? Because Jen, just a second ago, right? You said, oh, well, why are you worried about them? I gotta pay for their kids, okay? It comes out of my tax dollars. It does though, for real. It comes out of all of our tax dollars. When these kids aren't supported, those kids are gonna need support. So it's funny because the working class men and like the men that are doing what they're supposed to do, we literally have to pay for these, and excuse my language, it's the truth, these bastard kids from these people that y'all keep admiring and looking up to and talking about, we gotta pay for them. So that's why.
James, your
Oh, no, please
taxes go
finish.
to a lot of other things.
Yeah, like when you add up the amount that's going to the bastard kid, it's about like 33 cents.
I mean,
I was
Oh,
literally
really?
thinking, I was like, what
Okay.
percentage does he think?
It's all-
Okay.
like,
usually
So,
it's
I'm not
usually
saying
going to,
welfare isn't a problem, but
I mean, it's usually going to blowing up some bastard kid in another foreign country. I will tell you
right.
that. Maybe shooting them down
hey,
viciously.
two birds.
But you know,
Listen, let me say this though. Let me say this. I will say this to be fair, right? To the guys that don't, you may think you're a nice guy. Okay,
why don't you try to be a little bit more cool? Like, why don't you go to the gym? Why don't you go, I don't know, get a haircut or buy a bottle of cologne or try to be more what the women want? I do understand that. Like, sexual attraction is not negotiable. It's non-negotiable, okay? So I do get that. But all I'm saying is, Jen, ultimately it's like, man, we talk about this stuff like it's so shallow and like, oh, well, all that matters is sex. That's all that matters. And, we still have to be men. We still have to protect. We still have to do all these virtuous things that y'all want us to do. But a woman doesn't have to be pure anymore.
Virtuous?
Pure.
When has a woman been pure?
Who said?
When has a woman been pure? Like that sounds
said
like
that she doesn't have to.
what? No, I'm sorry.
Who said?
Showpro, go ahead. What were you saying?
Who said?
I like what you've been saying too, bro. You're a pretty smart guy, I mean, I know you've been on the panel the last few days, and you make a lot of good points too, So, I respect your argument. But go ahead. What were you saying?
Who said that? Like, and when you say it, like, I get you're being hyperbolic and like you're just going with emotion. So, like, I know what you mean, but like, we have to be able to explain what we mean, even when we're being hyperbolic and maybe a little dramatic. So you're saying like, oh, like men have to. First off, it's not virtuous. You're not doing something virtuous if it's what you're supposed to be doing. You don't get a round of applause and a medal for doing what you're supposed to be doing. So boom, that knocks that down. So no, men aren't doing the virtuous thing by leading and protecting. If the red pill's whole point is like, oh, men built society and we have to lead society, then men shouldn't get a round of applause for it because that's what they're supposed to be doing. So they should just do it. All right. Mm-hmm. Now, if you think that the women aren't doing what they should be doing, well, you can't make them do what they do, what they should do, or what you think they should. So how you, if that's what you think, can worry about it is just navigate through those women. So you don't have to deal with the women that you feel as though are distasteful or whatever. You don't have to deal with them. Ignore them. And if someone asks you, or if it comes up, you can give your expression. The problem is it is cringe that guys go out of their way now. Again, I'm not against guys getting together and talking about experiences and stuff. It's getting cringe. The amount, the hatred and the vitriol that they come on every single day, and it's their fault. Yet while at the same time saying, "Oh, stay on your square, stay in your frame," blah 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 blah. Like it's like you sound like a bitch. Like just be quiet because it's old. And again, I'm telling you, I understand all the red pill talking points, and I'm talking from the bulls that are just having hard times with women that get rejected. Jen even said, like, we all know it. Bulls aren't getting laid. Like, for the most in history since humans have been recording shit.
And you know what's funny, bro? You know what's funny, bro? A lot of that stuff is just regurgitation of some bullshit that they read. Right? Like
that is true.
Right, stand
like,
on your square. Somebody told
that
stuff to them. Stand on your square. Somebody told them that. They heard
that
stuff.
Justin, after you sent me that glossary,
yeah.
I was floored because it reminded me of some of the guys that have come up here, and their vocabulary verbatim is every single. And it was so cringe because I was like, I've heard them say that, and that's where that came from, and that's where that came from, and that's where that came from. So it's like a cult. These guys just learn the language, and they come up here and they talk about frames and pair bonding and body counts and what did James just say? Pure. There are no women. You're not gonna marry a virgin. You don't have a virgin in your bed. It's just not happening unless you stay up in a church and wait for some little girl to grow up. And
virgins are whack, anyways.
It's not going to happen, James. You're not going to have, even if her body count is 1 or 2, there was someone else's penis in there tracing her insides before you got to her.
Yep.
So I don't understand this thing. I don't get it.
Some Jackson Pollock in there too.
And that's not always the end of the world either. I mean, again, I think everyone in all of humanity probably would be better off if they only had sex with like one person for their entire life. But that's just not.
Oh wait,
what?
So that's just not where we are.
Oh wait, hold on.
That's just not where we are.
Hold
So
on.
we can't.
Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on.
I used to think that all through my 20s.
Right.
Wait,
You were saying.
No, I'm saying if like since forever, like if everyone just always did that, like because think about it, we wouldn't know. That's what I mean. But that's not where we are, so it doesn't matter. Like,
Adam Burns said, a pastor that has church at the local YMCA.
A pastor. That's true.
oh man.
Interesting. And James, so are you gonna? James, you have a girlfriend. Is she pure?
Oh wait, hold on. You were saying I sound like a bitch? Like you were talking to me or what?
No, I was saying
comes
like
his
that,
feelings.
like people who like spout that kind of stuff, like the cloud, the caricature, like just imagine like whatever the default bull is, like in his room, like with his 4 monitors, like that guy, like that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you specifically.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah.
I've heard you make points that attribute to what I would put on that character, but again, as we said earlier, like just you can agree with a point or like think something that doesn't mean that you're a part of it, which is the problem nowadays with so many different ways of thinking. It's like the groups. It's like, oh, you have to agree with all our rules, but if you go away from one, you're done. Which is why the red pill is collapsing in on itself.
Look, a couple of things because I'm kind of on the time thing right now, right?
Okay.
So a couple of things, right?
Yeah.
One thing.
Spaz up.
So like, hey, why are you worried about the guys? If you're not interested in these women, why are you worried about them? Like that's what we hear a lot, right? Like why, if it doesn't apply, just let it fly, right? But couldn't we say that about red pill? Because for men that y'all don't care about and aren't interested in, damn, you sure do spend a lot of time talking about them. So couldn't we also apply there? And as far as, 33%, how much are you paying in your taxes for these people's kids, right? Look at the majority of people who commit crime in the society and look at what households they come from. If they come from single parent households. So that's fine. You may think Pookie and Ray Ray's kids don't matter until they jack your mom when she's trying to get money out the ATM. Or until
Pookie and Ray Ray's aren't the only reason that there are single parent households, though.
Right.
Again, single parent households are a problem, and we do know the results of that. But like, you can't put it.
What is your proximity to the Black community? Like, do you really know? Like, do you live in the hood?
Oh, G-check. You just got G-checked.
Hold on a second.
I grew up in North Philadelphia, and get this, it doesn't matter. It still doesn't, like, just because, get this, that's one spot. You feel me? Because I grew up in the hood. I grew up in the inner city, but like I've been other places as well. And I also have to think about like the entire world. Again, things can be a problem, even if they're a little percentage is a problem, and we can do whatever we can to fix it. You feel me? There's nothing wrong with.
So look, so check it out. Right? Okay, how about this though? How about this?
The way you're talking, it's like this is a virus that's spreading, and it's like, it's bad, and it is a piece of our society is collapsing. I agree with you. The degeneracy, it's getting insane. I agree with you there, and the dynamics between men and women, the family, it's suffering. We do need to help it, but there are multiple factors. And to say, you know what, I'm gonna stream 5 hours a day about Pookies and Ray Rays because them niggas are the reason why everything is just falling apart. And it's like,
so instead we're going to talk about the red pill. So instead, what we should sit around is talking about guys in their basement who play video games.
James voice getting deep out here.
Right? That's what we should talk about, right?
You can't sound like a man.
We shouldn't talk about the Pookies and Ray Rays, but we should sit around talking about red pill all day. About guys that these women aren't interested in, right? If it doesn't fly, just let it pass, right?
James,
I would say we can dedicate time to things that will give results and things that won't. Sitting around talking about Pookies and Ray Rays and bitching about not getting girls doesn't give results. Sitting around talking about how niggas that talk, bitching about Pookies and Ray Rays and how that needs to stop is more
So what will get
positive.
fathers in our community? So what will get more fathers in our community? What will we talk about?
Have kids and teach them. Have kids and teach them. That's it. Have your own kids and teach them.
But you got to be in the house.
Most likely, they will pass those values on.
You know what I
That's
forget
your
about?
best
I
bet,
forget
bro.
about this, right? I forget that everybody doesn't take this as like
Volunteer. Be a
everybody,
chaperone.
like most people don't care about what's going on in society, right? This is entertainment.
They do.
So I get it. If this
They
is
do.
just entertainment for you, then I understand, right? So this is just entertainment, right? For you,
Yeah,
right?
red pill guys are definitely entertainment.
Yeah.
But James,
It's
James,
hella
all of
entertaining.
it, James, all of it is entertainment. Even the channels that you entertain, they're all entertainment. None of those men are getting together and doing anything
Right.
for
There's
each
no
other.
like real difference being made.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
and
not.
Nothing.
and one last thing I want to point out too. One last thing, because I've heard you say this, right, Jen? I've heard you say this, right? You say like, "Oh, he regurgitates manosphere talking points.
Mhm.
Oh, these guys just read things off of a book.
Yes, they all say the
Oh,
same
this and this and
thing.
that, right? But listen though, that's kind of not right to say that about me, because you're basically saying I don't have any original ideas, I don't think of my own. Like, because think about what we hear all day: narcissist, emotional intelligence. That's all things women repeat that they've just heard other women say. So
Who
we
gives a
have to,
shit?
right? Right. So who gives a shit about
James,
the stuff
well,
I'm
let me
saying,
hold
right?
on. James, hold on. You could ask Haran, you could ask Lily. I'm one of the people that hates when women or men use the word narcissist because they don't know what it
Absolutely.
means. I've actually
Not a
studied
clue.
it. And every time someone doesn't get along with someone, they automatically label them narcissist. So I don't like it on the other end either.
Rare, actually.
I have a quick
Okay,
question for
look,
James.
so
James, let me just ask you a quick question. Why do you think the Pookies and the Ray Rays are chosen? What is the criteria in which they're chosen? Can you define that, sir?
okay, I'm gonna answer this, and then I'm gonna kind of skip out, all right? But
Okay.
it would be
James,
great if, like,
James, we're gonna miss you when you go.
no, it's okay, I'll be back, right? Hey,
Okay.
check this out. So I look at, don't beat me up for this, but I look at World Star Hip Hop a lot, right? And if you go on World Star Hip Hop right now and you look, what you'll see is
Well,
this,
there's your
right?
problem.
I didn't want to
You'll
say it.
see. Okay, what you'll see is dad whips his daughter's ass because he comes in the house and finds two guys in the house with him. Or dad sees daughter outside of school kissing a guy and spanks her publicly. That's what we're missing. That's why I kept saying fathers in the chat. That's why women pick Pookies and Ray Rays, because a dad's not around. Because which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Oh, well, he's not around because dads aren't around. Dads aren't around because you pick Pookie and Ray Rays for dads. So if the dad was around, he would literally.
The dads
stop the
also
daughter.
choose to not
No,
be
no,
there.
but no.
The dads
Wait one
also
second.
choose
He
to not
hasn't.
be there.
Wait 1 second. He has not answered my question. I asked you, what is the criteria in which the Pookies and Ray Rays are measured, and they say, yeah, that's the guy. Is it height? Is it what he does? He wear a red shirt a lot of times? What is it? You know what I mean? Can anyone really define this so we can differentiate?
It's physical characteristics.
Explain that.
Height,
Explain.
It's status in the hood. Who's the biggest dope boy? Who's the biggest drug dealer? It's protection. They feel protected by these guys because these guys exhibit what they perceive as raw masculinity because their dad's not around. So all they
Okay.
know is
So wait 1 second, James. Wait 1 second. Hold that thought.
Using the
So
hood.
let's use that for a second. Can Mr. Justin?
What's up?
Can we take what that man did and we apply those notes to what you explained to be the 666? Because sounds like I'm hearing animal attraction. You know what I mean, feeling of being protected, resources. Sounds like I'm hearing all those things.
Mm-hmm.
Nature.
So
That's just nature. You can't be
so
nature.
we're basically discussing nature. So when she sees the other guy and he doesn't have those other things, you're wondering why she's not choosing the other guy. Well, obviously she does. She sees the other guy. She doesn't see protection. She doesn't see resources, and there's no animal attraction. So what are you really angry at? Are you angry at the woman, or are we angry at nature?
Okay, can I respond to that really quickly?
Absolutely.
I'm on a time thing. So the difference between our community and other communities, like I'm in real close proximity to the Jewish community, right? And one thing I can tell you about them is, or I can tell you about even the white community is, right? they'll have a daughter, right? And the daughter will go after these things. They'll go after the chads and the stuff like raw masculinity, right? And the difference is the dad will say, okay, you had your fun with those guys. Now it's time for you to get married. So now it's time for you to make a responsible choice and pick a man that's going to be a good father, because it's bigger than what you want. Like, women don't know how to pick, or at least in our community.
Have you
don't,
ever
which
been to
is
like
why-
a trailer park or Jersey?
Or Jersey.
He said Jersey. He said on Jersey.
They're like, oh, white people across the board. You know what they do? Get this. The black women in the hood that you're talking about, they got the same, like, as far as the Pookies and the Ray Rays, it's the same thing. It's
Was your dad
the same
around?
thing. Like that.
Yeah, hold
Yeah, my
up,
father
hold
died
up.
when I was young. But yeah.
Yeah, hold up. I got a question, James. You just described a generic conversation that a white father would have to his daughter. Okay, and you spit that out pretty good. How many of these conversations have you actually heard?
I hear it.
No.
I
A
hear it all the
father
time.
sitting down with a daughter saying, "This is what you're
Father,
going to
I
do."
heard my father.
No.
tell my sisters.
No. You
They invited
described
him
a
over.
white father. Did he invite you over? Said, "Hey, James, come on over." And he sat you down on the couch while he had a discussion with his daughter and said, "Listen, I understand you're into this dude and he's got these traits, but when it's time to get married, this is what you're going to do." You described it as though you've been privy to an actual conversation like that, when I know you haven't, and you're just making this up in your head.
Oh yeah. What's the out of wedlock birth rate in the white community?
You're
compared to the
ignoring
black community?
you're ignoring my point. You're ignoring my point.
Exactly.
James.
Exactly.
James.
Okay, so what is
You're
the
ignoring
out
my
of
point.
wedlock birth rate in the black community compared to the white community?
Is
there a difference?
you're
Is there a
The
difference?
receipts
James.
validate them not doing anything.
Point proven.
Right.
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 Don't be bothering my James now. Don't be bothering my James. Everybody stand down.
You were moved the goalpost so far it moved off the field. Answer my question.
Go ahead.
How many of these conversations have you actually heard? Because you described it as though you were there.
I've talked to people
About the conversations they have with their daughters.
Bullshit.
I have.
Right.
I have. Why wouldn't I? Why
You're
would I
saving
lie about
you're
it?
saving face. That's what you're doing right now. You made up that story
Wrong.
to
I'm saying, why
support
do I
your
have to-
beliefs. You made up
why
that
do I
story to
have to
support
be wrong?
you made up
Why-
the story to support your beliefs, and now you're trying to save face. Stop it.
Okay, you're right.
Stop making
You're
shit
right.
up.
You're right. You're right.
I know I am. You didn't hear that conversation, so don't pose it as though you have. Those conversations you're not privy to.
Okay, you're right.
There it is.
Adam Hearn, that's not nature, that's low IQ. Adam Hearn, you don't think that there's high IQ women who are getting pro-boned by some dude who is aesthetically pleasing to them, who might not even be just as intelligent as them, but they just see that motherfucker and they got all warm and fuzzy in their little unmentionable region? Do you think that? You know what I mean?
Her
Do you
flower.
understand what nature is?
Right.
Yeah.
That ain't got
Man,
nothing to do
yeah.
with IQ at all. Your IQ goes out the damn window. We all got the same IQ. Like,
Wait,
when
he
it
was
comes
saying
to
that women with a high IQ wouldn't
Yes,
get
Right.
with
yes,
like
we
yes,
all got the same
yeah,
IQ.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
dude. Oh, that's a lie. My wife did it.
Right.
yeah.
Your wife did what?
I mean, it was a joke.
Oh, I was like, what the hell
He
is
was
going
saying,
on?
he was like, oh, a woman with a high IQ wouldn't get with like like some schmuck, and I was like, oh well,
Oh,
yeah, that's
okay,
a lie.
okay.
My wife did it.
So,
Right.
so I'll say
Maybe
this
we're
because we're
structured.
closing. I'll say this because we're closing. James is speaking from a lens of his personal experience and his immediate environment. I understand why he's passionate about the Black community and Pookies and Rays. I get it. But as far as society collapsing, there's so many fucking components. There's greed. There's the 1%. And that's not race specific. Like, society is fucked right now. TikTok, social media, it's all. But I get he's right. What's adjacent to him is what's most important. I get it. That's cool.
And he's
I
frustrated,
answered.
obviously.
Yeah, my answer to the question of the night are the average at best better mates. I think the average at best are better mates for the average at best mate. That's what I think. I think people should stay in their own fucking lane. So if you're average, and we fucking know whether we're average or not, although there's denial and you're listening to Andrew Tate and Kevin Samuels, you fucking know if that next guy is more fine than you. You know if that woman has a better body than you. Like, come on, okay? Cut the shit. If you're average at best, quote unquote, then find you someone who's average at best. Go live a nice life. Go have some babies. Go get married. That's my answer to the question for tonight. I understand everyone's passion. But I think James is coming from a place where not only is he regurgitating everything he's heard, he needs to get out of those spaces. But he's maybe emotional about his own, whatever. But I don't think his problems are really his problems. We're all just talking shit. I don't think he's passionate about, let's help the baby. I have to pay for welfare. You're paying for wars. You're paying for mistresses of governors and presidents. You're paying for a lot of shit. You're paying for a lot of
Cocaine.
shit.
Paying for child labor in foreign countries.
Basically.
I mean, are you speaking on an iPhone? Then you know what I mean? It's like, come on.
We're all participating.
Right.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are.
I
So-
built my phone though. I made it out of scratch.
Aren't you? Well, look at the big brain on Brad.
I'm not average. I made my phone.
Squeeze me. So, does everybody on the panel and any last thoughts? Anybody on the panel want to tell us why you're not average at best?
No, but I'd like to just add some parting words to make yourself not average, or at least a starting point. Stop watching red pill content. Stop now. Just omit it from your life. Every single one of them. Don't watch any. Fill it with ASMR. I don't care, but just stop watching red pill content.
Knit a quilt.
Yo, the one where the girl is doing craft books and she's like ripping out like little stickers and writing in them and this. I love that shit. But stop watching red pill content, guys. It's bad for your mental health.
Pick something else. And plus, it's imploding. It's falling apart. They don't even know who they are anymore. They bumping it. Andrew Tate was explaining how to be a simp. That's not a simp. It's a mess. It's a mess over there. It is a mess.
You know what I would recommend? Stop watching red pill content for like 6 months and then watch some. And
that's a good one.
It's so much fun. I do it all the time now, and like the algorithm, especially now lately, like hopping on like streams like this and stuff. Like it's like the stuff's been popping up, and I'm just having a blast. It's really funny. It's like really, really funny. And I have like other people, like my brother. He's been sending me stuff. He's like, "Have you seen this?" He's like, "What do you think of this?" Because he knows I used to be like really into it, and I've been telling him like lately. I'm like, "Hey, this, and that." And honestly, it's funny now. I like it because like the new people. Because like I stopped watching that stuff for a while, but the new people, they're so, oh my god, I
haven't seen anything recent in a very long time. Like it just omitted it from my life a very long time ago.
It's just repeating the same thing over and over and over again, and now finally they're being challenged on it, whether it be from people on the outside or inside, and instead of just being like, you know what, I don't have a rebuttal for that point. I didn't think about it that way. Let me go back. However, I do stand by that principle. I think it's right, but I'm going to have to get back on you on that. They just keep kind of like, I'm sorry, the bull just did it. Instead of just being like, I never thought about that. It was just a different stat or receipt to justify like staying there. And it's unproductive. But
I mean, it's interesting because he has a girlfriend. He told us. So I don't know. He doesn't need to be in that space. He needs to be making babies or whatever. Like,
it might be sympathy. I guess it might be pity. Maybe
it could be like these guys need hobbies. They need more goals or something. Like they got to stay away from the losers online.
Or she's got a girlfriend, and it's what we talked about before, where it's just like he's a stand-in, right? And she's not like this, like you have me, right? I'm yours. I don't think it's that thing. I just don't get that sense, right? That like this pussy belongs to you, sir. I don't get that feeling from him.
I'd mess around with him.
Oh, it's the best. You like Put that vest over your head, James.
He's gonna log in tomorrow and be like, I left my girlfriend.
Wear your vest like a holster.
Exactly, right? Take the shirt off from underneath. Let's see if I can crack some things around
like-
here.
James, wear that MLK suit that you had on last week.
Look at her run. Oh my God. All right, guys, we are the fuck out of here. Come tomorrow. We are going to talk about race and color and complexion and ethnicity and racism. We're going to be chock full of race. It's going to be so much fun tomorrow. So come through.
Oh, New Diamond, you're gonna have a ball, baby.
Yeah, come through,
You
New
gonna be in
Diamond.
that
Pull
chat.
up.
You know what's crazy? Tomorrow's also the release date for The Little Mermaid.
What?
Oh,
You in that
right
damn
on
movie,
time.
man. You in that goddamn movie.
Decisions.
Right. Well, no, that's right on time. That's right on time because a lot of that
There you
has to
go.
do. Race is a big part of.
Yeah.
They push race to promote the movie. So yeah, that's right on time.
See, Spro,
your
that's
bell's
why
gonna
we
get
like
worn
you.
out. Your bell's gonna get worn out.
Oh, my bell's there. She's going to break through the bell.
Yeah, she's like, fuck this bell. Take the gold bell.
See, Spro, that is why we like you up here. So tomorrow, all the 2 hours. Okay. No Saint sent me that. All right, guys. So we're out of here. Thank you so much, chat, for holding me down. Tristan, you hella late. I am out. I got some Taco Bell waiting for me because I'm so fit that I eat. All right, guys. So good night. See y'all tomorrow. Don't forget Saturday's Block Talent Battle. If you have a talent, come battle the other talent, and you can win $100 cash. Okay.
That's right. Good night, Wisconsin. No, just-
Or something like
Good night,
that.
everybody.
Good night.
Get out of here. Get out. If you're still here for any reason, hit that like and subscribe for mama. Don't forget, it's good for the algo if you leave me a comment. Doesn't have to be a whole sentence. Give me a thumbs up on any of my videos. A thumbs up, a happy face, the wine glasses, clinging, anything, okay? Don't forget Saturday Block Talent Battle, which is always a lot of fun. Never know who's pulling up. And tomorrow we're going to talk about race and complexion and Afro-Latinos and ethnicity and all of that. So the block's going to be hot tomorrow. So pull up. Thank you so much, chat, for holding me down. Thank you for all the generous super chats. I appreciate you. Can't do this without you guys. If you want to support after the show and you're catching the replay, Cash App on the block with Jen. Thank you, guys. I'm out. I'm tired and I'm hungry. All right. Good night, guys. Have a good night. And if you can't be good, be careful.